Good afternoon, friends.
Good afternoon.
Yes, we are the mentors for the today's session. Myself, Nisha.
And CA Shraddha.
Welcome to you all on this today's session on BOS for your success on paper 2, corporate and other laws at the intermediate level. Yes, friends, this is a platform from where we are directly connecting with you. And we are expecting from you students that you students shall be driving maximum benefit, coming out with all your relevant queries related to your examination for May 2023. Shraddha, by the way, what is the month right now?
We are in March 2023.
Yes, it's end of March near about.
Yes.
So my dear friend, चैन से सोने वालों जाग जाओ. This is only for those students who have not yet started their preparation. And those students who have started, so they are looking forward to improve their performance by putting their full efforts and energies. So we just want you to take you forward toward your journey of the preparation. We are here as a guru to handhold you and to take forward with ease and comfortable and confidently towards your journey. Yes, Shraddha, you were saying something.
I'm just saying that the students who have started their preparations, that's good. Who have not started their preparations, they should be very well aware that we are in March 2023 and the students who are taking the preparations very lightly, though they have started, should also gear up.
Yes, wake up, wake up, wake up. So, as let's start with one of the most important point before taking up the technical session. जब भी हम कोई नया काम करते, when we start anything new in our life, we do certain types of the preparation. We just energize ourselves to put all our efforts and then to move on with the proper planning and strategies. Up, let's take it otherwise. Suppose if you are 2 or 3 friends and you decide to go somewhere, just to go somewhere to Shimla, okay, after the examination, it may be possible that you may be deciding in such a manner. Now, what will happen in that case? Lot of questions and will arise in your mind. Yeah, where to go? Chalo, okay, decided Shimla. Then how to go and what are all things to be done with respect to our visit and this tour and trip. So similarly, in the case when you are preparing for your examinations, you also need the proper planning, implementations, executions, strategies, what are the sources that you need to look into it. And also with that, the main important other aspects that need to be taken while reading of your subject for preparing your examination is the key, which are the main supplement to the life is the positivity and the confidence. This is main supplement to the life. This is like something which add on the confidence level, which add on or put your efforts to a higher degree. So this is very much required.
So if you're planning to go to Shimla, you need to decide how you will be commuting. That you will be commuting by car or by train or by bus. And once you have decided, then boarding, lodging. These are your preparatory things. But once you have reached Shimla, you need to execute those.
Beautiful, right? Absolutely.
If you don't execute it properly, then again your trip will be a failure. Apart from that, you need to be very careful about some things which are beyond your control. Suppose you have reached Shimla and it's like not normal snowfall, or somehow you're the place where you have done your boarding and lodging is not has given your rooms to someone else. This is the situation for which you need an attitude where you need to take the action right there, right now. For that, you need a positive mindset, which ma'am said.
Yes.
If you have that positive mindset in you, you will not be perplexed and you will look for another option, and you will have that thing, that not only a positive outlook, but a faith. I will find a better lodging and I will do even better.
Yes, absolutely. And for all these things, what required? You are being required a clear mindset, because if you are clear in your thoughts, then definitely the execution of your planning will be more comfortably and in the right direction. So this is the tendency that you need to develop right from this stage of the student life. And if you inculcate these basic traits in yourself at this moment, this will help you further at the professional front also in the longer time. And if you see that well-organized mind, I was thinking this is one of the basic traits that is being needed. It is very much required. It should be inculcated in each and every habits of your life and in routine, so that you are doing your work in a proper and in a right manner. And what you are expecting and looking forward for, you are able to achieve it. You are able to achieve your object. You are being keeping yourself motivated all the time. And besides with that, it will be making you free from distress, pain, and it will be all good for your physical well-being also. So this should be not only inculcated, but you must be seeing the relevance of all these factors in your life presently also. Suppose if you go into a restaurant, so Shraddha, it happens sometimes. Generally, go to the restaurant or something, some other place also. If it does not go with proper planning or with a proper clear mindset, everything get mess. The whole program is being spoiled. So suppose if you go in a restaurant, let's take an example in this way. So what will happen if you have a clear mindset? You will order the food also in sequence as per the list given under the menu card. So if you place the order properly with the clear set, yes, what we require first, what we are going to have in the starter first, and then what you are going to place
In
in
the
the
main
yes,
course
in the
and then the
main course.
sweets.
Yes. So then you can enjoy it because you are going in an organized manner.
And you will even not waste things.
Absolutely.
Here, if you don't get organized, you will waste your time.
Yes. So this is something which is being required along with your when you are pursuing for your academics or you're pursuing for your studies. So similar is the thing here also. So this is very much required. So let's before I just begin with the main, this special, this technical session, I would like to just give you a small enlightenment on the motivated story. Little because the motivation is very important because it adds a gist in your life, and that is very much required. It brings you at a comfortable level. It increases your interest, and this is what we are wanting, that you should get become friendly with this subject, and an interest is being developed. So when an interest is being developed in anything, that work is really enjoyable, as well as you'll be easy to catch as per your requirement more and more about the subject knowledge. So that is why I'm just giving you a small, narrating a small motivated story. So what happens? There were two canes. Okay, this is cane 1. This is cane 2. These are the two canes of milk. Okay. Now certain boys were playing in a ground, and they found that these canes were kept on a small carrier is there, and on that carrier there is a small these two milk canes are there. Now what happened, that boys sees the boys those who are playing, they see there two bullfrogs, bullfrog 1 and bullfrog 2. Now since the monkey minds as usual, so what they did, they just pick up the bullfrog 1 and put it in cane number 1, and the bullfrog 2 in the cane number 2, and they close the cover. Now, what happens? The bullfrog 1, when it was in the cane, he tries very hard to push the cover, but he was not able to do it because it was very tight as well as very, heavy. So he says that, oh, I have never taken before such in my life this milk bath ever in my life. And also he thinks how to do, what to do, and how to come out of it. He also thinks of it. That frog also thinks that if I'm going to the bottom of the cane and then putting up pressure and jumping, so I will not be able to do it at all. So okay, this was the thought process of the bullfrog 1. Whereas with respect to bullfrog 2, what happens? When he was put into the cane, he was started thinking what to do, what to do, what to do. So he says, I don't know anything, but I only know to swim because my guru has taught me to swim in any water or in any kind of the liquid, wherever there is such kind of situation. Only that he has been taught to swim over there. So that bullfrog 2 seconds started swimming round and round and round in the cane itself. And because of churning of the milk, the butter float up. And that bullfrog 2 sat on the butter. So when at the desired place, that carrier is being reached over there, and as the cane cover is being opened, when the cane 1 cover has been opened, there the full frog who has quitted dies. That bullfrog is no more. Further, in the key number 2, when the cover was open, the bullfrog who was sitting and floating on the butter, he just jumped and ran out. So this is how he survived. This is why, because this is because of the motivation. So you should also act like a winner in your life. Don't ever get distressed with the failure in your life. Okay, so you should think that you are a winner and you will be a winner, so that you can easily keep on moving in your life and moving to your desired destination. So with this, let's start, Shraddha, the technical session.
And remember, कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती.
Yes.
So let's start with our technical session. This is for paper 2, corporate and other laws, which is at intermediate level. And we are there for your success. So since we have already started, you must have started with your preparations and everything. Now, even if you know that what all publications are relevant for you, but it's our duty to some of the students who have still not started preparing, or there are many a time students are not knowing that what all publications are relevant. Sometimes they know just about the study material, but BoS is not only providing you with the study material, but many other sources. So first, we have our study material, which is September 2021 edition. It is updated for all amendments for up to 30th April 2021. But for May 2023, some more amendments are applicable and we will be letting you know about it shortly. So you have to refer the study material along with the amendments. Then the next source is your booklet on MCQs and case scenarios, which is of January 2022 edition. It has 100 MCQs, independent 100 MCQs, and 40 integrated case scenarios. So once you are done with the study, then you should definitely refer and practice your MCQs and case scenarios from this booklet. Next is your RTP. RTP contains two portions. One is for your amendments. The second are practice questions. Next is the mock test papers. What are mock test papers? Mock, as the name refers, it's a kind of mock that similar to the examination conditions, the test papers are provided. So we have two series of these mock test papers. In that, series 1 is already done and series 2 will be done shortly in April. While doing these mock test papers, if you want to take the maximum benefit of these mock test papers, either visit a branch near you, there you can give the mock test paper, or if you are attempting it on your own, then set your timetable, sit on your seat at the exact time, have a 15 minutes reading time and 3 hours of sincere examination. No disturbance, nothing, no books around, no loitering here and there, just sitting there, you and the paper. And then you can check the answers that are already hosted on the website. Then we have the suggested answers. What are these suggested answers? If we see, the past year question papers have been solved for you, so you can see the questions along with the answers. However, I would add a word of caution for this booklet on MCQs and case scenarios and the suggested papers. The thing is, since suggested answers are in with reference to that particular attempt, so if you are doing it for May 2023 examinations, do it according to the latest amendments. So be very clear about it that you have to refer the latest amendments that are applicable for May 2023. Not to worry, there are not many amendments and they have been provided to in a very easy and legible manner. Along with that, if you see, we have earlier RTPs also. The word of caution may be added to those also. So these are one major relevant publications for you. So you have seen the study material. So study material is a detailed compilation of the legal sections. But once you have prepared from the study material, you will be in a position to write in a very legible manner, in a legal language. We are not expecting you to quote the exact language. However, a legal language, or rather, I should say, a legible, intelligible English language is expected out of you. For your reference, we have even our more sources, which I will be discussing later. So you have to refer the study material along with the RTP. The study material contains all the amendments up to 30th of April 2021, and for May 2023 examinations, amendments up to 31st of October 2022 are applicable. So for this gap of 1st May 2021 to 31st of October 2022, the RTP is provided. You have to read all the publications along with the amendments. Next source, a very, very, very effective source, live virtual classes. What are these live virtual classes? As the name suggests, these are virtual classes that are provided for your benefit live. So you should take advantage of it. Today also, we are, I think, having a class in the evening, and it's from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Go to the website of the institute, see the LCC schedule for yourself, and you will see that they are provided to you free of cost. And there are two things in it. We are saying live virtual classes, that if you attend the class live, then you can ask the questions then and there with the expert faculty. However, if you are feeling that you cannot attend it at that moment, then you can see the recorded lectures also. Be assured, students, these are very good for you, and they are available to all the students free of cost.
Yes.
Many a times, there are certain students who cannot afford very classes. So be assured the institute is doing it for your benefit. So they are provided to you free of cost.
This is the initiatives. Actually, these are all the initiatives, you can say, whether the release of the publication, or whether you can say the quick referencer for the students, or these live virtual classes. These are all meant for the benefit of the students. And I'm telling you, these will be of a great help to you. If suppose you have read from the study material as Shraddha conveyed to you, the detailed provision is given over there. But when you read the capsule, after reading the study material, it will not only bring the clarity, but it will act as a note, as a revision. You can, for revision time, you can use as a significant notes for the examinations. So this is something, which we are putting efforts for the benefit of you students, side by side with our regular and every activity, and we are giving our that 100% for the benefit of you students. But only the thing is that you students should also put efforts to know what are all things are available for you. So kindly go to the website. Everything is there on the website. Everything is at your doorstep. Only the thing is that you need to know where you have to go and what are the things there for the benefit of you students. So we will also be taking a quick walkthrough through our website also, so that you are conversant with the various facilities that has been made available for you students. Right, Shraddha?
Yes. So I would just make a little bit of change in what ma'am has said. They're not even available at your doorstep. Since we are living in a high-tech society, they are available at your fingertips. Since live virtual classes are provided to you, so you have to just click your mobile and then you can see. Many a times, when what happens, students are knowing about a certain provision, but they want more clarity towards it. Just go to the BOS mobile app. We will be telling about that also to you. And then you can go to the recorded lecture and just see that lecture. Sometimes you are not feeling like reading a thing, just listen to the thing because it's provided to you. So everything is available. The next resource, so this is your live virtual classes. Next is your one-stop solution, BOS Knowledge Portal. I will be shortly discussing about this also. And one more major resource of BOS is your BOS mobile app. What is that? As students, you must be knowing that app is there, and when you download it, you will have everything that is available on the website of the institute. It's there for you students on this mobile app. It can be downloaded by the students, either this Google Play Store for Android users and for Apple users through Apple Play Stores. So we have everything for you. And now let's have a walkthrough of our website also.
Also, let's take some queries also side by side. Okay. So many students like Mr. Yatiraj, Pranav, Mahesh, they all are greeting us. So first of all, good afternoon to
Good
everyone.
afternoon.
Then next, the query has been raised by Supradha. She's asking about there are various time limits, days from numbers to remember, numbers, all this to remember, which is difficult. And is that important to remember, or the concept of the section is sufficient? So, Pradha, yes, would you like to say
Yes,
something?
at intermediate level, there are two things. First of all, it is not compulsory for you to write the section numbers. Be very clear about it. However, in order to inculcate a better habit, as you will be now, once you have cleared your intermediate level, you will be going towards your final level. So as a habit, try to remember and quote certain important section numbers.
So first of all, the requirement is that you should read with the section, section number, because that habit needs to be developed.
That is the major reason that in the study material, if you see, everything is given along with the section numbers.
So try to read the provision along with the section, so that whenever you have been writing, you can easily make it out or recall, yes, I have read that particular section number. So first of all, remove from your mind that it is very difficult to retain the section numbers, many sections, many clauses. Of course, it's there. But at intermediate level, or either also in the future, at least you can try to remember the main section number. Do read in that manner only any legal provision by citing the main section and then the legal provision. And if you continue with doing this thing, then definitely you will be easily retaining the section numbers.
And never underestimate the power of your mind. It's a monkey mind. It's up to you how you train it. You want it to be your servant or you want it to be your master. So you need to train that. With that also, I would say it's not compulsory. However, it is advisable that you remember and quote some of the section numbers.
Yes. Then
the next part of this was that there are numerous limits. And form numbers, generally we wouldn't say that you would be remembering everything, but AOC 4 is there and all
some common forms are there. Yeah. If you'll try to remember and read it, then this will help you further.
Form numbers are very less.
Yes, and it will help them actually in the future while.
And that you must be practicing in your articleship also. Yes. If you have started your articleship.
Yes.
And various limits and all those things. I would say one thing about it. It's like, even if you don't remember all the limits, again, the main point is that there are some limits which you need to remember. Like in section 135, you cannot tell us that, ma'am, it's very difficult to remember the limits. You have to remember the limit for net worth, then turnover, then for section 2, clause 85, you have to remember the limit of 4 crores and 40 crores. You cannot do away with such limits.
It's fine that you cannot remember every limit. This is what Shraddha also said. But at least you should try to retain some of the important limits, because generally the students are being tested on the basis of that limits, because that limits only differentiate from the different categories. either of the nature of the companies or who are eligible to make certain things within the provided requirements. So somewhere this is the main, you can say, the requirement in order to go with that particular provision. So it is being required that you should try to retain the limitations, certain of important sections that should be done. You should write somewhere that limits, and every day when you are reading again and again, so definitely you will be able to retain that limits.
Or if some limit has come in the recent amendments, then also they become very important. We are not saying that that only will be asked, but they have a certain edge over other limits. So at least the limits you need to remember, because if you see questions are asked, however, as mentors, we know it is not easy and possible to remember each and every limit. So you can just remember the major limits.
Yes. The next query again, Supradha has asked, should we start from difficult chapters or easy ones?
That is totally up to you. That is totally up to you. There is no fixed formula here. We cannot have a straight jacket formula. It is a customized thing that needs to be provided, because sometimes some students gain confidence when they are done with the easy chapters, that like, I don't know what is your definition of easy. First, I should know that also. But if you are a person who has categorized the chapters in the sense of easy, and you think that there are 4 chapters that are easy and other are difficult, I would rather, to you, Supradha, I would say that going for the easy ones, because then you will have a confidence that I have done at least 4.
Yes.
So it is majorly on the student himself or herself, that what is their viewpoint about it. Like for person like me or somebody else, it can be like that once I am done with the difficult thing, I will feel okay, this part is done, and then I can move for the easy things that I can do it. So Supradha, it is customized, only you know how to do it.
Yes. But yes, doing and starting from the easy one definitely not only build the confidence, but yes, you interest is also being developed in the subject. And once the interest is being developed, then you feel like reading more and more. So definitely somewhere you will be able to complete your course also, and you will be enjoying the reading of the subject also.
So Pradha, I would just add that if you are for May 2023, gear up. And if you're for November 2023, so you need to attempt the next session of BOS, which will be held for November 2023, because things may change for November 2023 in terms of our RTPs and everything. I don't know at what, because you are saying that you have to start.
The next query is read by Sahana. She's asking, do we mark MCQ booklet in pencil as they have given instructions in the paper?
Follow only the instructions
Yes.
that are given by the examination department.
Yes.
Examination department, our work, the work of BOS is to make you plan and how to achieve your target. But those 3 hours are decided only as per the instruction of the examination department. So whatever is given to you in your booklet, I think they have an instruction page for you, just refer that. If you don't mark, if suppose if they have said that you have to mark the OMR sheet with a pencil, and they have specified some shade of pencil or something, do that. Because if you write those questions or the answer to those MCQs in your booklet, this answer booklet, they will not be marked. If the examination department has said that you have to mark it in OMR, you have to follow that only.
Yes.
And if they have said pencil, then that means pencil, even pen will not work.
But just follow the instructions book. Then next question that has come, has been raised by Nikita. She is asking that in exam while attempting MCQ, we have to write answers in full sentences, or it is okay to write only option number.
Beta.
With respect to MCQs, right, Nikita? And with respect to MCQs, only we need to write the options. We does not require to write the detailed sentences of the options, just mentioning option A, B or C, whichever is appropriate answer.
There is one more thing to it. As far as we know, you have to mark the answers in the OMR sheet. So in that, you don't have to write the full options.
First of all, the thing is absolutely as conveyed by you, that is OMR sheet. So this is not possible at all, first of all. And further, if you see this is not possible, then no further question arises. So you cannot raise all these things. I suppose you are appearing for the first time, so she's not aware of that thing.
In fact, this brings me to a very imperative point. Whatever the instruction is, बट सारे बच्चों प्लीज इसको ना गांठ बांध दो. जो भी इंस्ट्रक्शन है, whatever is the instruction that has been given to you by the examination department with respect to writing your answers, follow it to the T, please. आपकी एक छोटी सी भूल आपको 30 मार्क्स कॉस्ट कर सकती है. A small mistake, if you don't refer those instructions clearly or do not follow them, can cost you your 30 marks. Please.
The next query is for Harmisha. She's asking, I am keen to write section in exam. Will you guide how to remember sections thoroughly?
Ma'am already told you. Reading of sections again and again. We are not saying ratify the sections. Rather, read the sections. Because once you are reading the section in a flow as per section 16, if I close my eyes, I know on this page, section number 16 is written. That thing automatically comes in my mind. Don't underestimate the power of your mind. Once you are reading it again and again, it will be memorized.
Or otherwise, what you can do, you can take the printout of the index of any barrack where there is given the heading as well as the sections. So whenever you get the time, just keep that page always with you, and always whenever you get the time, just read that sections heading along with the section number. So this will also help you and will help you in retaining, and also as well this will bring you, or you can say build up your confidence ki yes, that I'm able to retain the sections in the examinations. Because when you daily read the section heading with the number, this is very easy rather than reading the complete section every time. It's not possible. So just go with that index part, keep it in your pocket. The next query is of Anurag Goyal. Ma'am, how to learn law as too many provisions create confusion?
Okay. I would just say one thing to you. Once you have taken the chartered accountancy course, there is no escape from law. Be it paper 2, law, your paper of taxation, Income Tax Act 1961. Then you have your GST indirect paper that also has GST. So all the laws are there. You have your audit. So in that also you have your essays. So those are also law based. And then you have this accounts paper. AS are there. So those are also law in terms of that they have been given to you, and then you have to remember it. So apart from few very practical papers like CM, costing FM, such papers, you need to remember the law given by somebody, either by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs or the compendiums that are issued by the institute. So law somewhere or the other is important, and you cannot do away with it. So you are in a course where you have to learn the laws.
Yes. The next is read by Andila Reddy. She's asking, oh sorry, he is asking about, ma'am, I wrote recently about the November attempt. I thought I would get good marks, but I wasn't able to pass. From my side, I wrote everything, but why I couldn't able to do it?
Okay, so though we would have taken this Angela Reddy, I think I will be taking this query at the end of the session, because by the end of the session it might be there that you will come to know that where you are lacking. So I hope so you will clear in this attempt, not to worry about it.
Yes, because every times of the things which generally student misses in the examination, we will be trying to covering during the sessions. So that will be of a great help to you in the coming attempt. So just focus right now on the coming attempt, and whatever the tips, do's or don'ts we will be sharing during the session, kindly drive the benefit and try to use all the techniques or the tips to the extent possible. And next is Kirti Tiwari. She is asking, can you please conduct the session in Hindi?
We are addressing to students pan India. So we cannot take the session fully in Hindi. बट हम बीच बीच में आपको हिंदी में भी गाइड करते रहेंगे. However, the major portion of the session will be in English. Thank you.
Then Yamini is asking, is it mandatory to write the answer as it is in the study material, or only keywords are enough to get the full marks? So yes, Yamini, it's not very much required that you write the verbatim reproduction of the barrel given in the study material, or using the language whatever is given in the study material. The main point is that the essential of this elements of the legal provision is sufficient for writing your answers. In the sense, whatever has been asked in the question, it should meet that requirement. What information of the legal provision is to be given in the answer, it shall be in line with the questions that has been asked. You doesn't require to give the unnecessary or the information which is not required. So that will somewhere, just deviate you from the main thing that needs to be focused in your answer. So just write whatever is required, or the point or the line of the legal provision in which your answer lies. So, and वैसे भी अगर आप देखोगे in law, no answer can be one liner or one word. So you need to justify with proper legal reasoning. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि requirement of giving the length or the legal provision should be in line with the requirement of the question. Whatever is asked in the question, accordingly, that much information which will complete your answer in a whole manner. So that should be that much portion of the legal provision can be given in your answer, and also in commensuration with the marks. You have to see कि कोई भी जो question है, it is of how much marks. Accordingly, the information or the legal provision to be given over there.
I would also add to it, though we were intending to tell you later, but then also I would add here itself, you have written that is it necessary to write the exact answer? Nobody can have the exact verbatim reproduction of whatever is given in the study material. Ma'am has said it very correctly that you can write it in your own words, then you can write the crux, everything. But please be very, very, very clear about it that you have to do it in a legible English writing and in full sentences. Those who have opted for Hindi medium, उनके लिए आपको प्रॉपर हिंदी में लिखना होगा. आपको पूरे पूरे सेंटेंसेस लिखने होंगे. आप सिर्फ क्रक्स में बुलेट पॉइंट्स नहीं लिख सकते. यू कैन नॉट जस्ट राइट द बुलेट पॉइंट्स without writing the full sentences. No SMS language, no WhatsApp language, no short forms. ये कुंजी नहीं है. What do we call it? Kunji. Short, passing book types of a thing. Please don't write such language. Don't write the language as given in the capsule of the institute.
That is only for retaining and revising of the concept. That's it.
But and sometimes for understanding.
Yes. So for during the examination, they actually test your legal writing also. They test your language understanding, how you write, how you lay down, what you have understood, and in what manner you are going to lay down the concepts. So they are testing your language also. So please take care that way. Writing in your own words is okay. Besides it, that the crux of any legal provision should be there, and in line with that, your answers should be accordingly written and concluded.
If they have asked an exam for 1 mark, what is your name? Or rather say, what is your name for 2 marks? I cannot just write Shraddha. I have to write, my name is Shraddha, or my name is C.A. Shraddha. So I have to write the full sentence with a full stop to it. So please, full sentences.
Then Pranav is asking, if we are putting only sections, number, but not subsection, is it okay?
Perfectly fine.
Then Kartikeyan is asking, strategy to clear exam with above 70%.
Hey, that's what we are here for.
Then Arnav is asking, with respect to chapter audit and auditors, which CARO is applicable for May 23? First of all, CARO is not covered
in paper 2.
Paper 2. So whenever your audit class is going to happen, because it is forming the part of the audit, so you can confirm this thing with the audit faculty during their sessions. Then next is Pranav is asking, can form number be asked in MCQ? That this thing belong to which form?
Generally, they do not ask, and I think except for few important forms that, like I told you, AOC4 is there, or some other forms are there. There is not much of a need, because if you try to remember every form number, it will be very difficult. And how much marks will it add to your paper? Maximum 1 or 2. So don't put that much of mind that for 2 marks you should leave rest of the 98 marks. Concentrate on those 98 first. And while if the same goes with the form numbers also, that if you are reading the text again and again, you will definitely remember, you will come to know and you will understand that these forms are important for you. And if you are doing your articleship, some of the forms are like that, they are already known to you.
Absolutely. Then next is Mitaksha. She is again asking about the Karo. As already I have clarified regarding the Karo part. Then moving to the next thing is Yati Raj. Ma'am, will marks be deducted for spelling mistakes? If yes, how many marks?
That's the prerogative of the examination department and the paper who is the person who is checking your paper. So we cannot comment on that. But as a professional, it is not expected for you to have too many spelling mistakes, and it may create a wrong impression on the paper checker that you don't know much about how the English is written or Hindi is written. For that matter, Hindi also. Hindi में भी मात्राओं की अगर आप छोटी ई बड़ी ई को आप बार बार कर रहे हैं गलत, तो it makes a difference.
Then next is Mahesh. He's asking how to study theory subjects.
We will be covering, and through the sessions you will understand that how you have to study and how you have to answer questions.
तो पता चलता है कि महेश ने अभी पढ़ाई करना स्टार्ट नहीं किया, because he's asking how to study. So gear up, Mahesh. Now next is Sayyid Ali. What is the standard length of answer of 5 marks? Actually, should when any question is asked with respect to the weightage allotted to it, it's not at 4 line format. There's no fixed criteria. Only the thing is that it should be meeting up the requirement of the question. That means if there's a 5 mark question, so you cannot give in a one line just saying anything ki, yes, it cannot be done, or this is the result, something. But you need to justify your answer also, besides with whatever has been asked in the question. So automatically, when you write complete answer, it will suffice the purpose and it also fulfill the requirement of this of 5 marks in commensuration with that. Because when you justify that, definitely you are giving the logical expression to your answers, and accordingly you are somewhere concluding in line with the legal requirements, whatever is stated in compliance with that, your answer with proper logical expressions and reasoning. So that will suffice the requirement of the length of the question for 5 marks. Then there are many queries, Shraddha.
I think
shall we be starting our session?
Yes, we will take up these queries. Just give us some more time, because we need to give you the full information. Otherwise, what will happen? You will not have all the information, and we have to run through the information, and you will not be able to have the maximum benefit out of this session. So as we told you that one of the major resources of BoS is BoS mobile app. Request you to download it now itself. You guys are very intelligent. You can do 2 works at a time. So please, please, please download it right now. If you have downloaded, very good. If you have not downloaded, do it right now and go ahead with it. So one of the major resources that we told you is about study material. And since you have been asking about, we can see many queries with respect to revision also. Either you can have your own notes, or you can refer the capsules of the institute, or if you are having any other material with respect to short notes, then you can refer that also. But during the examination, request you to please, please, please write the full sentences. Don't write that kind of short bullet points or make those flowcharts and diagrams in the examination. So if you see, there is one more capsule of paper 2 corporate and other laws, which will be for your benefit, and it will be coming soon in the April 2023 edition of the Students Journal. You will be delighted to see it. We already have some of the capsules for you. do refer them. They will help you in easy understanding, which you must have already done, and at the time of revision also, or you can make your notes.
Yes, because someone has asked earlier also how to read the theory paper, and this capsule is related to this theory part. That chapter is actually more theory based, but yes, it is something related to interpretation of law. So how you can relate and retain the important aspects of that particular chapter. So we have tried to bring in the capsule for easy understanding of you students, and that will make you to understand how you can read the theory papers also. When you summarize, prepare your notes, something in bullets, something in charts, tables, so that will make you to retain the key words from that particular definitions. So that will be helping you to retain and go through the theory chapters and will be helping you in writing your paper.
कोई भी मेंटर हो आपको कितना भी मटेरियल दे दे, लेकिन उसके लिए एक बहुत जरूरी चीज है, वो है कि आपको खाना बना के भी दे दिया जाए, लेकिन आपको खाना तो खुद ही पड़ेगा. Apart from that, even if you have all the notes, you need to refer the detailed studies, and then while you're referring those notes, अपने हाथ से लिखे हुए का जो मजा होता है और जो वो रिटेन होता है वो अलग ही होता है. One thing, हम इतनी देर से बच्चों को कह रहे हैं कि आप ये पढ़ लीजिए, हमने BOS ने आपको ये दिया है, वो दिया है. आपको हमने ये तो बता दिया आपको जाना कहाँ है, आपको क्या क्या मोड्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन लेने हैं, लेकिन कोई ना कोई एक वन स्टॉप सोल्यूशन, कोई ऐसा कुछ होना चाहिए जहां पर ये सब कुछ मिलता हो. क्या कुछ ऐसा है?
बिल्कुल है.
एड्रेस क्या है उसका?
जी हाँ, वो है हमारा BOS नॉलेज पोर्टल. तो इसके लिए बस आपको जाना है, या तो आप डायरेक्ट अपनी इंस्टीट्यूट की वेबसाइट के माध्यम से भी जा सकते हैं, या फिर आप लॉग इन कर सकते हैं boslive.ici.org. डायरेक्ट उस पर जाके भी आप अपने BOS नॉलेज पोर्टल पे जा सकते हैं.
एंड मोबाइल ऐप पे भी आपको यही सारी चीजें पूर्णतया मिलेंगे. You will have everything at your fingertips on the BOS mobile app also. So if we are going through the institute's website, which is ici.org, go to the students, then BOS knowledge portal. In that, click here to visit BOS knowledge portal. So this is the website which has the informations about our president sir, vice president sir, and chairman sir and vice chairman sir. Apart from that, then we have everything for you in the form of syllabus is there. Then our study material is available. This is your intermediate study material, and you can click here. See, we have already hosted a corrigendum. Sometimes we do make mistakes. There can be some mistakes and we need to acknowledge them, and then we have our corrigendum. You need to refer the study material in respect to this corrigendum so that you can write the correct answers in the examination. Then we have a student journal. Then for your easy access, here we have all the student journals in which you can get various, these are like edition wise.
Yes.
But then we have a subject wise capsules also. If I go to the intermediate, see, we have subject wise capsules for every subject. So if we click here for the corporate and other laws, sorry, this is for
accounting.
So if you see the quick referencer, we have a capsule for you from where you can, once you have read and if you want to revise, you can refer this along with your study material so that you will understand that how things are moving. Suppose if I give the example of this appointment of first auditor, while you are reading the section, if you keep this, so it is good for you not only at the time of revision but at the time of understanding also. You will understand that how things are moving for a first auditor at the time of appointment of a first auditor in case of a government company and also in case of any other company also. So you can revise and understand from this. So we have this source for you. Likewise, we have the RTP, then we have previous year papers for you. These previous year papers will give you the look and feel of the paper. You can attempt these also, and then you can check the answers from the suggested answers.
If you see, the ample numbers of questions are there if students really want to practice, but only the thing, the practice is to be done when you are thoroughly completed your course and you are confidently, yes, now I can solve the paper. So just after reading and completing your course, just focus on the practice part by solving all these papers, suggested answers, MTP, RTP. So this will be helping you a lot in the examination.
So this is like previous year papers, then the suggesteds are here, then the mock test series one is already uploaded for you. Sometimes you can see the amendments also here that are applicable for you. Since the students who will be attending the class, who are attending this session right now, do keep this amendments open for you right now also. We will be discussing some of the major amendments, and these amendments are also given in this RTP. So now moving on further. So this is our BOS knowledge portal. Here is a quick walkthrough from where you can refer the various sources, resources of BOS that has been provided to you. This we have already discussed with you. So we have been receiving a lot of queries with respect to this.
Since lot of queries are there, I'm looking that students are generally, some of the queries are general in nature. So we already, many of the things has been taken care of. Other and rest of the queries will be taken during the session itself in the coming slides. And, however, some students have felt that how they can improve, matlab they are writing everything, but then also they are not able to get good marks. So
I think when we will be discussing a question with them. So
because we will be taking some sample questions also as a sample in order to make you what are the important things that to be given in your answers, so that whatever is being expected from the student at this level, let it may come out in that way, and definitely that will be helping you securing the good marks.
Since you are saying that there are many sections, many amendments, so let's have a quick look at some of the major amendments that are applicable for you. So this is the look and feel of the RTP or the major recent amendments that I showed you just on now on the website of the institute. Here we have given to you all the amendments that are applicable for May 2023 examinations that were not there in your study material since they have come after the study material was printed. So, पहले सीखते हैं कि हम अमेंडमेंट यहां पे जो दी हुई है उसको पढ़ेंगे कैसे. See, we have written the Companies Act 2013. So ये आपके part 1 से related. It is related with part 1 of the study material, which is your module 1, Companies Act 2013. This amendment is related to chapter 1 preliminary. Then we have given you a notification number with a date. क्या आपको ये याद रखना है? Do you need to remember it? No. This has been given only for the purpose of reference. If some students want to see the exact amendment or exact notification as it was given by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, then you can use this notification number along with the date and go to the ministry's website and see that. Now, the next paragraph says that the central government has made amendments to companies specification of definition details rule 2014 through the companies specification of definition details amendment to rules 2022. This is also given for your reference. Next, Sorry. The next part is amendment. Now, what does this amendment say? There is a certain amendment that has come in the company specification of definition detail rules 2014. Why 2014? मिनिस्ट्री वाले भी अर्लियर एक्ट्स में ही चेंजेस करते हैं. वो लास्ट जो उन्होंने चेंज किया होता है, जब भी किसी चेंज को बताना होता है तो जो फर्स्ट आपका एक्ट या रूल आया था उसी के बेसिस पे ही अमेंड कर करके आपको बताते हैं. सो इसीलिए यहाँ पे 2014 लिखा हुआ है.
एंड इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल एवरी टाइम कि हर बार वो नया एक्ट बनाए, बिकॉज मेकिंग ऑफ द एक्ट टेक्स अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम एंड एज पर द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द टाइम इट इज बीइंग कंसिडर्ड कि अगर आपको छोटे मोटे चेंजेस करने हैं या आपको कुछ सर्टेन लिमिट तक चेंजेस करने हैं तो दैट कैन बी डन इन लाइन विद द प्रिंसिपल एक्ट. आपका जो प्रिंसिपल जो मेन एक्ट है जो फर्स्ट टाइम बना था दैट वाज द प्रिंसिपल एक्ट. उसी एक्ट के रेफरेंस में आपके अलग से अमेंडमेंट्स एक्ट दे दिए जाते हैं और आपको उन अमेंडमेंट एक्ट्स को यू हैव टू रीड विद द प्रिंसिपल एक्ट.
और रूल्स को चेंज करना ज्यादा आसान होता है. सो जर्नली चेंजेस आर ब्रॉट थ्रू रूल्स. So this is with respect to rule. And if you want to see, आपको कंपनी स्पेसिफिकेशन ऑफ डेफिनेशन डिटेल्स रूल्स 2014 में जाना पड़ेगा. The amendment says in rule 2, then go to rule 2 of this rule. In sub rule 1, go to sub rule 1 and then go to clause T. So it says in rule 2, in sub rule 1 for clause 2, मतलब clause T के लिए the following clause shall be substituted. Substituted means that the earlier clause will be replaced by this. ना में तो बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, मैं कैसे करूंगी?
ये तो है, बच्चों की समझो, मतलब प्रॉब्लम्स को समझो भाई.
So for that, what we do, though we give you every amendment as it is, आप लोगों को बहुत सुनने में आता है, आप लोग सोचते होंगे तो इतना सारा क्यों दे रखा है, आसान लैंग्वेज में क्यों नहीं देते? क्योंकि हमें आपको प्रोफेशनल बनाना है. लेकिन हमें आपको प्रोफेशनल बनाना है, उसके लिए हमने आपको डिटेल्स तो दी हैं, लेकिन हमें पता है आप हमारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, इसलिए हम आपको वो सारी चीजें कहाँ डाली जाएंगी, कैसे यू विल बी रिप्लेसिंग इट, उसके लिए हम एग्जैक्ट आपको बताते हैं कि आपको इतनी मेहनत ना करनी पड़े. हम चाहते हैं कि आप ये वाला पोर्शन पढ़ें, आपको पता चले कैसे आता है, लेकिन एग्जैक्टली वो अमेंडमेंट कैसे होगी उसके लिए वी हैव गिवन यू ओल्ड लॉ क्या था और किस पेज नंबर पे था. आई विल बी मेकिंग यू नो हाउ यू हैव टू डू इट. जस्ट सी, you must be having the study material since you are here for the session. Old law दिया हुआ है on page number 1.22 of the study material, that is chapter 1, page number 1.22. अगर आप देखें तो as per the this और ये end हो रहा है 20 crores respectively. So I have given you, अब मैं अपने पेज, आई विल गो टू द पेज नंबर 1.22 ऑफ द स्टडी मटेरियल एंड देन आई इन दिस पेज आई विल सी, okay, so my exact lines are as per the this and rupees 20 crores. So ये यही paragraph है. If you see, this is the same paragraph. For your ease we give it. We know you are students, so we try to make it as simple as possible for you. Students, don't be misguided, or rather I should say don't be disheartened that ये तो 10 पेज की amendments हैं. No, if you see it exactly, they will not be even more than 2.5 pages. Everything is given to you in detail for your ease, for your understanding. So we have seen that in this, if we see exactly, this is the amendment. Only two things are changing. One is your two crores limit and the other is 20 crores limit. So exact amendment है क्या? We all know that this amendment is with respect to, now let's go on to the main thing, is with respect to section 2 clause 85, which is in relation to the small companies. What do we mean by that? हमें कुछ क्राइटेरिया दिए गए हैं जिसके बेसिस पे हमें ये पता चलता है कि हमें इस कंपनी को स्मॉल कंपनी में कैटेगराइज करना है या नहीं करना है. There are some criteria given in section 2 clause 85 which tells us that whether we have to categorize the said company as a small company or not. The limits that are given, dear, I think Supradha, I don't remember the name of the student who said limits. आपको limit याद रखनी पड़ेगी. So the limit is given through which we will be knowing that whether the company will be categorized as a small company or not. So this amendment is with respect to a small company. We know means a company which is other than a public company. First of all, the paid up share capital of which shall not be more than how much? My amendment says how much, dear? My amendment says not more than 4 crore rupees. So, मुझे ये portion replace करना है. So, what we are saying, the paid up share capital shall not be more than 4 crores. मेरा ये डायग्राम चेंज हो जाएगा, ये आप खुद कर सकते हैं. 4 and the turnover shall not be more than 40. Oh, yes, correct. So we know that now when a question will be asked to you, if it comes with respect to small companies, you need to say small company means a company other than a public company whose paid up capital shall not exceed 4 crores, no 2 crores, 4 crores, and whose turnover as per the profit and loss account of the immediately preceding financial year shall not exceed 40 crores. And then they have given certain more provision to this clause. So this is how you will read the amendment.
Yes, and as well explained in detail the concept related to the small company by Shraddha. So you need to understand the concept because in the examination, this concept is tested open on in the attempts. So now what the thing is required, अभी इतना बड़ा अमेंडमेंट पढ़ने के बाद आप सोचते हो इसमें तो 3-4 चीजें मतलब आपको लिमिट्स के साथ साथ आपको एग्जेम्पशंस भी याद रखना पड़ेगा कि when they are not being categorized as a small company, when any such company shall not be considered as a small company. तो आप जब पूरा सेक्शन पढ़ते हैं तो you should also need to learn how to prepare the short bullets or the notes to retain the important concepts provided in the act. अब जैसे आपने
Dear students, please take a note of one thing. See, everything cannot be provided to you on a platter. Now what ma'am is telling you is how to make the notes. Like many students have asked us कि ma'am कैसे notes बनाएं? How should we make the notes? How should we try to memorize? There is like, when we read, we come to know, okay, something can be done in a better manner or it can be written in a better manner. So that is how the notes are made. Like the diagram of this capital and turnover in an animated way is provided to you. You will remember, okay, so वहां पे एक छोटा सा पिग बना हुआ था और जिसके आगे कैपिटल लिखा था. So now that is 4 crores. Yes. So पैसे बने हुए थे, पैसा, turnover. So it's now 40 crores. उसी तरीके से now we are making another diagram for you. Similarly, you can make diagrams for yourself for easy remembrance, but exam में line जैसे मैंने आपको पूरी बताई वैसे ही लिख के आनी होगी. Yes. तो आप ये देख रहे हैं कि जैसे कि इसमें बताया गया कि what are the particulars required. The first particular required is that the limit given for the paid up share capital as well as for turnover prescribed in the act, as given in the old law, it was 2 crore and 20 crore. So you can skip this part because when you'll be reading old law and then again reading new law, so somewhere you will be confused. So read now directly the new law. So the requirement is for paid up share capital, it is the maximum limit that has been given is 4 crore. Not exceeding means इससे ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए.
ठीक है, तो ये आपकी मैक्सिमम लिमिट हो गई 4 करोड़ तक।
4 करोड़ तक।
यस। सिमिलरली फॉर टर्नओवर द मैक्सिमम प्रिस्क्राइब्ड लिमिट इज 40 करोड़। और चूंकि यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हैं एक प्लस का साइन बना हुआ है, ये क्या बताता है, यानी कि ये दोनों कंडीशंस आपकी होनी चाहिए। अगर इनमें से एक भी कंडीशन फुलफिल नहीं हो रही है तो मतलब सच अ कंपनी इज नॉट अ स्मॉल कंपनी। तो क्वेश्चन नीचे टेस्ट किया जाता है, आपको इस वर्ड्स को लेकर भी आपको टेस्टिंग होती है, एंड या और इसको लेकर, क्योंकि एंड है।
यहाँ से इससे पहले एक आपका क्लॉज है which is telling you about the paid up share capital. There they have used the word and.
Yes, क्योंकि यहाँ पे हम सिर्फ आपको पेज और पर्टिकुलर पेज
दिखा रहे थे.
Yes. So consider that both particulars should be there under this definition to be fulfilled in order to be categorized as a small company. So you can prepare in this manner the chart for easy remembrance and further the exemptions. Sometimes what happens, the companies are complying the requirements. That means they are having within the provided limit the paid up share capital as well as the turnover. If you see that part, so you will say yes, it is a स्मॉल कंपनी। बट ट्विस्ट होता है उसमें, कई बार उसमें वो आपको एग्जेम्पशन का कोई क्लॉज अगर उन्होंने ऐड कर दिया तो योर क्वेश्चंस विल बी आंसर विल बी चेंज इन अकॉर्डिंगली। मान लो उन्होंने बोल दिया कि जो एग्जेम्पशंस में अगर आप देखोगे देयर आर 3 एग्जेम्पशंस प्रोवाइडेड ओवर हियर व्हिच इज सेइंग दैट कि नथिंग इन दिस क्लॉज शैल अप्लाई, मतलब जो आपने क्लॉज ऊपर पढ़ा रिगार्डिंग द रिक्वायरमेंट्स वो इन पे एप्लीकेबल, मतलब ये सब चीजें जो है वो उस क्लॉज पर एप्लीकेबल नहीं होगी। ठीक है, जिसमें आपको ये बता रखा है कि होल्डिंग कंपनी है या अगर सब्सिडरी कंपनी है तो उस पर ये जो रिक्वायरमेंट है पेड अप शेयर कैपिटल या टर्नओवर वाली वो उस पर नहीं लगेगी। दैट मीन्स इट विल नॉट बी कंसिडर्ड एज अ स्मॉल कंपनी। Similarly, the other exemption we can say is the company which is registered under Section 8. अगर वो Section 8 की कंपनी है तो भी उसे exemption है। And further, if there is any company or body corporate which is governed by a special act, तो भी उसे exemption है। तो आप मान लो अगर क्वेश्चन में अगर इस कंपनी के बारे में इनमें से अगर कोई भी रिक्वायरमेंट फुलफिल हो रही है तो वो कंपनी विल फॉल अंडर द पर्पी ऑफ द exemption clause.
So it says that nothing, provided nothing in this clause shall apply to a case of holding subsidiary, Section 8 companies and companies governed by special act. मतलब अगर वो ऊपर की लिमिट्स को फुलफिल कर भी लेती हैं तो भी उनके ऊपर ये अप्लाई नहीं होता है। सिमिलरली हमने बताया अ स्मॉल कंपनी अदर देन अ पब्लिक कंपनी, तो कोई भी पब्लिक कंपनी स्मॉल कंपनी नहीं हो सकती है। यहां पर ये उनके इन 3 कैटेगरीज पे ऊपर वाले क्लॉजेस अप्लाई नहीं होंगे। रिमेंबर दिस, अप्लाई नहीं होंगे। So moving on to our next amendment. This is with respect to chapter 2. Now I have told you how to read it. So let's go directly. This amendment is in section 16 of the Companies Act 2013. And here we have given you 2 amendments related to section 16. One is in subsection 1 and the other is in subsection 3. Then if you see, we have given you for point 1 old law page number 2.39 and for point number 2 also the old law is on page number 2.39. Sorry. So the first point says in subsection 1 in clause B, for the words period of 6 months, the word period of 3 months shall be substituted. So what is this in effect? If I open my study material, which I have told you, on this page we have given so if I see, just a moment, we have given you that this period of 6 months is to be replaced in clause B. So this is to be replaced with a period of 3 months. इसका एग्जैक्ट मतलब क्या है? अगर हम इसको सिंपल भाषा में समझें तो जब भी कोई कंपनी अपने आप को रजिस्टर कराती है तो उसको एक नेम देना पड़ता है, और उस नेम, या तो कोई नया नेम नई कंपनी रजिस्टर हो सकती है, या फिर कोई पुरानी कंपनी अपना नेम चेंज कर सकती है. सो व्हाट डज दैट मीन? Whenever a company is getting itself registered, so it has to take a name, and it can even afterwards change its name. After sometimes, let's take it through an example. There is a company. There is a company A and there is a company B. I'm just explaining you that how this amendment will work, or rather I should open a blank page. No, let's do it here itself. So what happens is, suppose there is a company which is company A, which is already a registered company, and it's a registered proprietor of a trademark. This company A, इसका already एक registered trademark है, it is a registered company. Now this company B is there. It has got itself registered with a name. What kind of a name? Which is very identical or too nearly resembles. So these are the keywords. Name is identical or nearly resembles too much with the name of this A company. So now what this it comes to the notice of company A that B company has got itself registered with such a name, or it has changed its name to such a name which is identical or too nearly resembles the name of this company A. What it will do? It will give an application. This is really very, very, very important. सुओ मोटो नहीं हो सकता. इफ हम अगर फर्स्ट क्लॉज में चले जाते हैं, in the opinion of the central government, but for this, on an application by a registered proprietor of a trademark, then only it can be done. And what this company B is, since it has used let's say a logo of this, or name is XYZ, both are using the same name. So what it will do, it will go to the central government. Company A will go to the central government and tell that company B is doing this. There is a catch in it. Company A has to do it within 3 years of incorporation or registration or change of name, because I told you that it can be either the case of name change. So within 3 years of this company's incorporation or registration or change of name of the company, this company A has to go to the central government and tell the central government that same name is being used. And then what the central government will do? It will ask this company B to change the name. It may direct the company, which company? B, to change its name, and the company shall change its name or new name, as the case may be, within a period of 3 months. Now you have to read it as 3 months. So ये वाली जो लिमिट है 3 months की, ये कंपनी बी के लिए. याद करने का भी तरीका आसान हो गया अब तो आप लोगों के लिए. 3 साल फ्रॉम इनकॉर्पोरेशन और 3 महीने में कंप्लाई करनी है. ऐसे ही सब याद करते हैं, कुछ भी हमारे दिमाग में जो लर्न करने के लिए आसान हो. So 3 months from the issue of such direction, and this is important, but I'm like ordinary resolutions. Up now, students many a times, ma'am, this is apart from the amendment that I'm telling them. जैसा क्वेश्चन आएगा उस समय बच्चे क्या होंगे, ये बात भूल जाएंगे. ऑन एन एप्लीकेशन ये 3 years वाली बात भूल जाएंगे, या चलिए ये तो अमेंडमेंट है और उसके लिए ऑर्डिनरी रेजोल्यूशन की जरूरत होती है. जब आप क्वेश्चन को आंसर करोगे तो खाली खाली आपके लिए 3 months इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं रह जाता. क्वेश्चन एज अ होल, जैसे हमारी लाइफ में हमें सब कुछ चाहिए होता है, उसी प्रकार से द सेम वे वी हैव टू deal with a question, the way we want our life to be whole and complete. Similarly, the examiner is expecting you to write the full, whole and complete answer. So this was your amendment 1. And if I go with the amendment 2, then they have substituted subsection 3. Earlier subsection 3 was with relation to penalty, and now they have replaced it. So now they have given this paragraph: if a company is in default in complying with any of the directions as given in subsection 1, that means this, ये वाला point या ये वाला point की जो है, if the company has defaulted in the directions given by the central government, then central government shall allot a new name. सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट अपने आप ही उसको नया नेम अलॉट कर देगा कंपनी को. You are not doing it, I will do it for you. And after allotting, what will it do? The registrar shall enter the new name in the register of companies in place of the old name, plus it will issue a fresh certificate of incorporation with the new name, and this company now will be required to use the new name. Now they have given a leverage also, provided that nothing in this subsection shall prevent a company from subsequently changing its name in accordance with the provisions of section 13. So these were the major amendments in section 16. One more thing that I would like to tell, ma'am, with your permission, is that many times, I think if I can erase any of these things, yes, I can. Just give me a moment, students. Though what I will be telling you is not from the, not from the point of view of your amendment. Here, whatever the sections are given, like while I have to read this, I will be reading it according to section 16. So this is what ma'am told, when you will be reading it again and again. Now, this 1, A, B, C, 2, and this third part. Okay. Now what is like this? It's not necessary कि जो ये section 16 के आगे point 1 लिखा है, it is the subsection. For that you need to refer the bare. We many a times try to break a section in many parts, in bullets, for the ease of understanding. So here, I should say inadvertently, we have, or rather we have given it in the sense that subsection 1, section 1 and clause A, clause B. But while reading, be very careful. It is not necessary that these nomenclature are exactly the same as given in the bare acts.
So even we say many times to our students to develop a habit of reading the bare act simultaneously. Because here Abhishek has also asked the question, what is the bare act or a principal act? Actually, the bare act is the act as it is. Bare means as it is. No explanation, no commentary, nothing. The act as it is, as has been passed by the parliament. So that is the bare act. And the principal act, why it is said the principal act is the main act, the first and that act that has been passed, and that act is still in enforcement, and any amendment are consequently made in line with that principle or the main act is the principal act. So it is not possible to frame every time the new act. So what happens generally, act making is a long procedure. What they do, they just keep it aside, and whatever changes is being required, that are being made separately through amendment act. And in the year in which that amendment takes place, they accordingly write down the year, the Amendment Act 2020 or the Amendment Act 2021, and that has to be referred in line with what the Principal Act is laid down, what the Principal Act is given, whatever the substitution has been made. So that should be referred from the Amendment Act and should be read in line with the complete legal provision given in the Principal Act. So this is basically about the BEAR Act. So one should develop a habit of reading the BEAR Act. So as of now, already we have come across with the two main amendments.
And I have cut it because I will just add, I'm adding that since we have given here, आप भी ऐसे कर सकते हैं. हमने यहाँ पर बोला है कि ये पूरा रिप्लेस हो चुका है. So you can just either write it on in your own words or just cut it and paste it here.
Because Pranav is asking the same thing.
Okay.
He's asking whether, according to this amendment, the punishment has been removed. Matlab, he's asking with respect to section 16, the amendment. So yes, the punishment has been removed, but now the central government itself take a step without waiting for anything. वो देखेगा कि हम किस तरह से इस काम को timely accomplish करें, क्योंकि when we just put these kind of, the punishment and everything, so the process is being delayed. And it takes a time. So somewhere, in order to remove the indiscrepancies or the timelines to be kept by the, is to be kept by the government in mind, ki yes, the work should go on smoothly, because now the Companies Act is based on ease for doing of business. So this is why everything has been simplified as of now. And so इसलिए गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया, वो खुद ही अपने आप उसको रजिस्टर कर लेता है और उसको इंटीमेट कर देता है रजिस्ट्रार को, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली न्यू आपको सर्टिफिकेट इश्यू हो जाता है.
मैं अगर आपका नेम चेंज कर दूं, तो इतने प्यार से आपने कोई नाम रखा, उसको चेंज कर दिया जाए तो आपको वैसे ही धक्का लगेगा. एंड दैट्स व्हाई the central government will change the name on its own, follow the process, and then they have given them a opportunity that they can change the name as per directions.
So
yes, given in section 13.
yes.
So moving on to next amendment.
Yes, the next amendment, this is again one of the most important topic of your syllabus, that is the CSR. भैया इसका नाम आता है तो बच्चे तो वैसे ही डर जाते हैं.
Please tell us the section number.
Yes. Anybody? Can anybody mark out which is the section here related to CSR?
CSR.
भाई बच्चों जागो जागो, बताओ तो सही.
जागो जागो, सुबह हो गई. Okay, so some of the students have said correctly, yes, it's section 135.
लेकिन अगर आप देखोगे तो सिंगल सेक्शन है, ठीक है, लेकिन ये सेक्शन आपको सिर्फ खाली नहीं पढ़ना, इट इज टू बी रेड विद द कंपनीज CSR पॉलिसी रूल्स 2014. इसके साथ आपको पढ़ना है. एंड अगेन यू कैन सी, एज ऑलरेडी सेड, 2014, द ईयर इन विच इट वाज पास्ड. आप देखिए 2000, दिस इज द प्रिंसिपल, आपका रूल है. हाउएवर जो अमेंडमेंट्स आया, इट केम थ्रू द अमेंडमेंट रूल्स 2020, 2022. तो अब आपको इस अमेंडमेंट को प्रिंसिपल एक्ट के साथ पढ़ना है. जस्ट मेक इट अ पॉइंट. ये अमेंडमेंट आपकी आई है 28 सितंबर 2020.
मैम अभिषेक, महेश and
there are many,
Nikita,
all have come up with the right section. Yes,
there are many more students and we are taking the names of just few students, so very good.
Keep it up. तो आपको अब रूल्स के बारे में ध्यान करना है कि आपको रूल्स में क्या चेंजेस आए हैं और आपको उन चेंजेस को अच्छे से समझना है. बिकॉज मेनी टाइम्स द क्वेश्चंस आर आस्क्ड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द अमेंडमेंट्स. ये इसलिए होता है क्योंकि आप होने वाले प्रोफेशनल्स हैं, आप सब फ्यूचर प्रोफेशनल्स हैं, भावी प्रोफेशनल्स हैं. तो दिस इज द ट्रू मार्क ऑफ अ प्रोफेशनल, दोज हु कीप देमसेल्व्स अपडेटेड. आप लोग अपने आप को ये आदत डालिए टू कीप योरसेल्फ अपडेटेड इन ऑल द सेंस. चाहे वो आपकी रेगुलर वेबसाइट भी आप विजिट करिएगा, वो भी आपका ही पार्ट है अपडेशन का, अपनी पर्सनैलिटी का, प्लस अपने आप को हर चीजों के साथ अपडेट रखने का. जो भी चेंजेस आते हैं, एवरीथिंग फर्स्ट कम्स ऑन द वेबसाइट फॉर द नॉलेज ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स. इसी तरह से सब्जेक्ट रिलेटेड अगर आपको कोई अपने आप को कुछ लेटेस्ट अपडेट्स के साथ आपको अगर रूबरू रहना है, तो यू नीड टू कीप ऑन विजिटिंग द रेलिवेंट वेबसाइट. यू जस्ट have to go to the MCA website where you can see the Companies Act 2013. ठीक है, आपको वहां पे सारे चेंजेस मिलेंगे, whether changes in the rules or the act in the form of notification, circulars. तो आपको उन सब चीजों को देखना है और आदत अभी से ही डालिए, ताकि आपको एक तो देखना आ जाए कि आप कैसे अपनी अमेंडमेंट्स को देख सकते हो, कहाँ जाके देख सकते हो। तो सिंस वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट CSR 135, अब आप देखेंगे आपके 3 रूल में मेजर चेंजेस आए हैं। दैट इज, एक तो आपका है रूल 3, रूल 4 एंड आपका है रूल 8। ठीक है। अब जो रूल 3 है, सबसे पहला जो अमेंडमेंट है, इट इज रिलेटेड टू द रूल 3। इसमें यह बताया गया है कि किन्हें CSR कंप्लाई करने की जरूरत होती है, किन्हें CSR कमेटी बनाने की जरूरत होती है। आप जब डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे, उन्होंने बता रखा है एवरी कंपनी, और उस एवरी कंपनी के साथ उन्होंने बता रखा है कि कौन कौन सी कंपनीज हैं। तो आप ये देखेंगे, उन्होंने ये बता रखा है कि किस कंपनी को CSR प्रोविजन से कंप्लाई करना है, प्लस उसमें आप प्रोविजो भी दिया हुआ है। जो पहला प्रोविजो है, इट डील्स विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द फॉरेन कंपनीज। जो नेक्स्ट प्रोविजन हैज बीन इंसर्टेड, यानी कि एक प्रोविजन के बाद दिस इज द सेकंड प्रोविजन दैट हैज बीन इंसर्टेड आफ्टर द प्रोविजन, यानी कि एक प्रोविजन ऑलरेडी आपके मेन उस रूल में है, रूल 3 के अंदर, प्लस अनदर वन मोर प्रोविजन हैज बीन एडेड। वो ये कहता है प्रोवाइडेड फर्दर, फर्दर मतलब नेक्स्ट जो दिया हुआ है उसके रेफरेंस से बोल रहा है, प्रोवाइडेड फर्दर दैट कंपनी हैविंग एनी अमाउंट इन द अनस्पेंट कॉर्पोरेट सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी अकाउंट, अगर कुछ भी अमाउंट आपका रह जाता है अनस्पेंट आपके CSR अकाउंट के अंदर, तो सच अ कंपनी इन कंप्लायंस विद सेक्शन 135 शेल कॉन्स्टिट्यूट CSR कमिटी। अब कंप्लायंस विद 135 की बात करते तो 135 की क्या रिक्वायरमेंट है, उसमें उन्होंने बता रखा है कोई भी ऐसी कंपनी जिसका, अगर आप देखेंगे, नेटवर्थ आपका होना चाहिए 500 करोड़ या उससे ज्यादा। ठीक है। फिर आपका टर्नओवर प्रिस्क्राइब है 1000 करोड़ और मोर, एंड देन आपका है नेट प्रॉफिट विच इज 5 करोड़। अगर कोई भी कंपनी ये तीनों फैक्टर्स हैं, आइदर दिस दिस दिस, कोई भी अगर चीजों को कंप्लाई करती है, तो दे नीड टू फॉर्म अ CSR कमिटी and they need to implement the CSR activities. For accordingly, they have to seclude some fund for its development or for undergoing that particular activity. तो यहाँ पे रूल 3 में यही बताया हुआ है, और साथ में ये बोला कि अगर CSR अकाउंट में आपका कुछ भी अमाउंट अनस्पेंड रह जाता है विद रिस्पेक्ट टू एनी, जो आपका कह सकते हैं ऑन गोइंग प्रोजेक्ट है, बिकॉज इट इज टेलिंग विद रिस्पेक्ट टू subsection 6 of section 135 which is talking about ongoing project। ongoing project है, उससे रिलेटेड अगर कोई आपका अनस्पेंड कॉर्पोरेट आपका कोई भी अमाउंट अगर CSR अकाउंट में रह जाता है, इन दैट केस दैट कंपनी इज रिक्वायर्ड टू कॉन्स्टिट्यूट CSR कमिटी इन compliance with the other subsections given under section 135, that is from section 2 to section 6 of the section 135। तो 135 अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे तो यू कैन मेक इट आउट।
135 जब आप पढ़ेंगे लिमिट्स, तो उसमें ध्यान रखिएगा कि नेटवर्थ, टर्नओवर और नेट प्रॉफिट्स में दे आर राइटिंग 500 करोड़ और मोर, तो 500 करोड़ भी है अगर, तो भी वो इंक्लूडेड होगी
जी,
उसको भी कंप्लाई करना पड़ेगा
जी। Then now moving to the next is sub rule 2। एक तो अमेंडमेंट आया था इन सब रूल 1 जो मैंने आपको बता दिया, एंड देन आई एम डिस्कसिंग अंडर सब रूल 2 जिसे ओमिट कर दिया गया है। देयर वर सर्टेन एक्सेप्शंस ऑन व्हिच दिस सेक्शन देयर इज नो नीड टू कंप्लाई विद CSR सेक्शन, so that particular sub rule has been omitted। Now the next amendment that came in the rule is with respect to rule 4 sub rule 1। यहाँ पे बताया हुआ है आपको विद रिस्पेक्ट टू CSR इंप्लीमेंटेशन की बात कही गई है। तो यहाँ पे बता के कौन इंप्लीमेंट कर सकता है, तो उन्होंने बताया कि बोर्ड ये एश्योर करेगा कि जो CSR एक्टिविटीज हैं दे शैल बी अंडरटेकन बाय द कंपनी इटसेल्फ, या तो कंपनी खुद करेगी, और थ्रू फॉलोइंग कंपनीज। इन्होंने कैटेगरीज बता रखी कि और कौन कौन सी कंपनीज हैं जो CSR एक्टिविटीज अंडरटेक कर सकती है। दिस इज गिवन ओवर हियर, काइंडली रीड इट इन ऑर्डर टू गेट अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द अमेंडेड रूल।
इसमें बस हम आपको एक चीज बताएंगे, वी विल टेल यू जस्ट वन थिंग, इफ समबडी हैज ऑलरेडी रेड इट, if you look at it very carefully, you will understand only a small difference is there. and in this also.
Section 10.
Sorry. This is a key point that we are telling you. So if you do it even a bit clearly, you will understand that sometimes you think that whole thing is changing, but it's not so. So moving on further.
Next changes in rule 8. सब रूल 3 के क्लॉज C के अंदर, ठीक है। इसमें पहले क्या होता था कि जो आपकी अगर कोई कंपनी है विच अंडरटेक्स इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट, इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट से मतलब होता है इट इज ए प्रोसेस ऑफ इवेलुएटिंग द सोशल एंड इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट ऑफ अ प्रपोज प्रोजेक्ट और प्रोग्राम। तो उसके लिए क्या होता है कि कंपनी क्या करती है, वो सर्टेन जो कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन होता है ऑफ CSR एक्सपेंडिचर, इट सेपरेट्स इट, कि हमें इतना अमाउंट या लिमिट डिफाइन कर देता है कि वी विल गिव दैट मच अमाउंट फॉर CSR एक्टिविटी। तो अर्लियर उसकी जो लिमिट डिफाइन थी, इट वाज नॉट एक्सीडिंग 5% of the total CSR expenditure for that financial year of 50 lakh rupees, whichever is lower. लेकिन जब अमेंडमेंट आया तो इन्होंने इस लिमिट की जो वैल्यू है इसको चेंज कर दिया। दे सेड नाउ इट विल बी नॉट एक्सीडिंग 2% ऑफ द टोटल CSR एक्सपेंडिचर फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर फाइनेंशियल ईयर और 50 लाख रुपीज विच एवर इज नाउ हायर। पहले लेस था, अब ये कि दोनों में से कंपैरिजन करना है कि आपकी जो भी लिमिट ज्यादा है आप उसको कंसिडर करोगे, दैट लिमिट विल बी बुक फॉर द एक्सपेंडिचर टुवर्ड द CSR फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर फाइनेंशियल ईयर। इस पे क्वेश्चन बन सकता है, प्लीज आप इन लिमिट्स को, ठीक है, लिमिट से अगेन द सेम थिंग, एवरीथिंग इज बेस्ड ऑन द लिमिट्स ज्यादा से ज्यादा, क्योंकि ऐसे लाइक कंपनीज अगर आपको कोई चीज किसी चीज से डिस्टिंक्ट करनी है, समवेयर यू हैव टू पुट सर्टेन कैप, और कैप जहां आप डालोगे, कहीं पे कोई लिमिटेशन डालोगे, सीलिंग डालोगे, कोई थ्रेशोल्ड डालोगे, तो यू नीड टू रिमेंबर द लिमिट्स।
And especially when they are given through amendments, so for that respective examination they become even more important. Apart from that, if you see these limits, like they will not be asking the whole paper on limits, so there is nothing to worry about. And if you have practiced your questions, you will see that they are imbibed in your mind or in your psyche automatically. It's not like if even if while ma'am was telling you about this network, this, so NTN mnemonics 500,000 5 into 2,000, 5 into 2, 500 into 2 is 1,000, and this is like 5. So not much to remember. If you have the right tools in your mind, you will remember everything.
और थोड़ा बहुत तो पढ़ना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा बहुत रिटेन भी करना पड़ेगा,
बिल्कुल,
क्योंकि बिना रिटेन किए तो इवन सिंस फ्रॉम द चाइल्डहुड यू आर ट्राइंग टू रिटेन सर्टेन थिंग्स, क्योंकि आपको कुछ ना कुछ तो याद करनी ही पड़ेंगी, तभी आप उस चीज को वहां पे लिख सकते हो, बता सकते हो। अगर आप याद नहीं करोगे तो हाउ यू कैन राइट एनीथिंग, हाउ यू कैन पुट देयर इन व्हाट इज द रेलेवेंट थिंग टू बी गिवन ओवर देयर। तो कहीं ना कहीं आपको थोड़ा बहुत तो लर्न करना पड़ेगा।
मैम एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल दूंगी मैं यहाँ पर। Students, if you see that when we were kids, so we used to learn ABCD, and that's why now we can read this English language. या हमने क ख घ पढ़ा तो हिंदी में 12 खड़ी पढ़ी, सो हमें वो भी याद है नहीं है, लेकिन आपके माइंड में है। मैं डेफिनेटली आई कैन टेल देयर आर मेनी स्टूडेंट्स नोइंग हिंदी हु आर स्पीकिंग हिंदी, बट दे आर नॉट रिमेम्बरिंग द 12 खड़ी, द क ख घ वाला, आई एम नॉट सेइंग द अ वाला, बट क ख घ वाला। लेकिन आपको
स्वर स्वर
स्वर
क ख ग घ व्यंजन
सॉरी, मतलब मैं भी उनमें से हूँ, आई एम ऑल्सो लर्निंग विद माई किड्स। सो लेकिन मैंने एक बार वो चीज पढ़ ली, आई हैव रेड इट। आप मुझे हिंदी का कुछ भी अक्षर देंगे, मुझे अक्षर लिखना आता है, मुझे शब्द पढ़ना आता है, तो आपको कुछ ना कुछ लर्न करना पड़ेगा, तभी आप सीख सकते हैं। इन टाइम्स टू कम the way you will be reading, it may change, but that base is always necessary for you. हमने ABCD पढ़ा था, आपने भी ABCD पढ़ा था, आज के बच्चे जॉली फोनिक्स पढ़ते हैं. You might not be knowing that term, where a is a. So things are improving. तो हमारा अगर एक्ट इम्प्रूव करा रहा है तो हम क्यों ना करें. So don't be afraid of the amendments and read them with full zeal.
आप भी अब सोच रहे होंगे कि मैम हमें अब ए बैक कै और डै पढ़ा रही है, लेकिन ठीक है, द जेन्युइन ब्यूटी में अगर आपको बताऊं पे एक्वायरिंग एनी नॉलेज इज दैट यू कैन लर्न any time from anything that is being coming across with you during your any phase of the life. So take it that thing in a positive way.
Change is the only constant thing in your life.
Yes.
So ma'am, let's
yes,
see.
Amendments. These were the major amendments that we have covered over here. For details, you can go on the website. It's there and you can go through it.
So we have covered the major amendments for you. And by now you must be knowing that how the amendments have to be read and retained. So next is your examinations. सबसे important. सारी तैयारी हो गई. We have prepared everything. सब कुछ हमने पेन पेंसिल लेके बैठ गए. We have kept every tool to write in the examination. But until and unless you write in the examination, you will not be able to clear it. So we have already told you about the paper pattern we will be discussing, but you can refer the paper pattern from past year papers, and for the answers you can see the suggested answers.
Yes, now looking at the illustrative paper pattern. बहुत सिंपल है आपका पेपर जो है, इट इज डिवाइडेड इनटू टू डिवीजन, डिवीजन ए एंड डिवीजन बी. डिवीजन ए कंसिस्टिंग ऑफ 30 मार्क्स सेगमेंट्स ऑफ एमसीक्यूज. तो आपको ये पूरा 30 नंबर का एमसीक्यू क्वेश्चन है आपका डिवीजन ए. और जो डिवीजन बी है, इट इज कंप्राइजिंग ऑफ डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चंस ऑफ 70 मार्क्स. ये एक ब्रॉडर आपका जो पेपर का सेग्रीगेशन है आपको बता दिया है. दो तरह के क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाते हैं, एमसीक्यूज एज वेल एज डिस्क्रिप्टिव.
So the paper is divided into two parts, Division A and Division B. Division A is comprising of 30 marks and Division B of 70 marks.
अब आप देखो फर्दर 30 मार्क्स का जो आपका एमक्यू पोर्शन है, इट इज अगेन टू टाइप्स ऑफ द नेचर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. तो कंप्लीट इट इज ऑफ 30 मार्क्स, बट यहाँ पे दो तरह के एमसीक्यूज आपसे पूछे जाते हैं अंडर डिवीजन ए. एक है आपका केस स्टडी बेस्ड, यानी कि सिनेरियो बेस्ड. एक आपका होता है कि आपको एक छोटी सी सिनेरियो दिया जाता है, उस सिनेरियो के रेफरेंस में 2 और मतलब यू कैन से 3 or 5 एमसीक्यूज आर बीइंग आस्क्ड. तो आपको केस सिनेरियोस को अच्छे से पढ़ना है. वॉट एवर द इंफॉर्मेशन इज गिवन इन द केस सिनेरियो, इन लाइन विद दैट इंफॉर्मेशन आपसे जो क्वेश्चंस पूछे गए हैं इन रेफरेंस टू द पर्टिकुलर प्रोविजंस जो उन सिचुएशंस पे लगते हैं, एप्लीकेबल होते हैं, यू हैव टू गिव योर आंसर. यू हैव टू पिक द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. ठीक है.
Yes.
And then further it is being also followed with independent sort of the MCQs. The case study जो scenario based होते हैं, either it will be 1 or 2 in number in the paper. ठीक है. और बाकी के जो आपके MCQs होते हैं वो इंडिपेंडेंट होते हैं. इंडिपेंडेंट में भी आपके दो तरह के MCQs पूछे जाते हैं. एक होता है डायरेक्ट इन नेचर, इट मे बी ऑफ 1 or 2 मार्क्स. एक होता है जो एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड होता है, इट मे बी ऑफ 2 मार्क्स. जो आपका डायरेक्ट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन होता है, इट इज जनरली फोकसिंग ऑन द लीगल प्रोविजन. जस्ट आपकी वो देखना चाहते हैं आपको कितना पता है, हाउ मच नॉलेज यू हैव अबाउट द लीगल प्रोविजन. इट्स सिंपली एज लाइक दैट. लेकिन जहां एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड है, इट इज ऑफ जनरली ऑफ 2 मार्क्स. और ये आपकी एप्लीकेशन टेस्टिंग करते हैं कि हाउ यू आर एबल टू अप्लाई. आपको छोटी सी एक सिचुएशन दी जाएगी, एक सिनेरियो दिया जाएगा इंडिपेंडेंटली, और फिर उस सिनेरियो को वो लोग टेस्ट करते हैं कि हाउ यू विल अप्लाई द रेलिवेंट लॉ ओवर हियर इन अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट पर्टिकुलर लॉ विच प्रिवेल्स over there, and then you mark up the option. तो इस केस में आपको ये चीज ध्यान रखनी है कि जब भी आप इस तरह के एमसीक्यूज करें, एक तो कभी भी जल्दबाजी ना करें. मतलब दीज आर द प्रिकॉशंस. जो किसी कई बच्चों ने कहा कि हम तो पूरा पूरा पेपर करके आए हैं, अच्छे से करके आए हैं, सही करके आए हैं, देन ऑल्सो वी आर नॉट एबल टू स्कोर गुड मार्क्स और द फुल मार्क्स. व्हाई दिस इज बिकॉज व्हाट हैपेंस समटाइम्स वी won't pay much attention or we are not reading carefully the question, you can say. In fact, हम पढ़ते हैं जल्दी जल्दी क्योंकि एग्जाम के कंडीशंस क्या होते हैं, वी हैव लॉट ऑफ प्रेशर बिकॉज वी हैव टू कंप्लीट द पेपर इन टाइम. तो सबसे पहले आप, ठीक है, यू नीड टू मेंटेन द स्पीड, दैट इज ट्रू, बट अलोंग विद द स्पीड आपको हर चीज को समझना है, देन यू नीड टू रिप्लाई द आंसर। और जो एमसीक्यूज होते हैं स्पेशली, इसमें एक बहुत बड़ा बेनिफिट ये होता है, आइदर यू आर गोइंग टू secure full marks if the MCQ is right, if the answer is right, or either you are going to lose the complete marks. तो स्कोरिंग करना इसमें आसान होता है, लेकिन जो कंसेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग होती है दैट इज वेरी मच रिक्वायर्ड। उसी कंसेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग को टेस्ट करता है आपका एमसीक्यूज। सो प्लीज टेक अ हीड ऑन दिस पॉइंट, रीड the concepts very nicely and have a thorough understanding of the legal provisions so that you are able to come up with the MCQs in a correct manner.
So since ma'am has already told you about division A, which is with respect to MCQs, which are of 30 marks, independent MCQs, and your case scenario based MCQs, and ma'am has told you that each MCQ has 4 options, and all the options are very near to each other. The student has to choose the most appropriate answer, because they are very near to each other, and they have to apply their knowledge of the provisions to answer the MCQs. In the case scenario based, you have to very carefully read the case scenarios, and then only you should answer the MCQs.
Now this is with respect to descriptive questions.
So moving, like we have kept it for the last, but since ma'am was discussing, so this is it. Or MCQs have a very good point. If you are clear with what you are doing, ये आपके मार्क्स में चांद तारे लगा देता है, 4 चांद लगा देता है, because if you are knowing the provisions correctly and you have good understanding, in a jiffy you will have full 30 marks, and students are scoring as good as 26-28 marks in the MCQs. Just think about it, that many students have asked ma'am how to score 70 marks and how to do. So think you don't have to write everything, you have to read, apply your mind, and just color it with in your OMR sheet. You have to mark OMR sheet. So just think how much time will be saved, and you will score very good marks. If you score 27-28 marks from this portion, that is division A, 70 marks scoring will become a cakewalk for you. And but with a word of caution that yes, if you are not sure, you are not knowing, then directly those 1 or 2 marks will be deducted. So it's up to you.
Yes. अब प्रणव ने ये भी पूछा है कि इज देयर एनी माइनस मार्किंग? नो, आपकी एमसीक्यूज के लिए कोई नेगेटिव मार्किंग नहीं है। नाउ नेक्स्ट इज द डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चन। तो इसमें आपको बता दें इट इज ऑफ 70 मार्क्स। यहाँ पे जो आपका फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन होता है इज ऑलवेज द कंपल्सरी, जो आपको अटेंड करना ही करना है, ठीक है। बाकी जो आपके रिमेनिंग 4 क्वेश्चंस होते हैं उसमें से आपको कोई 3 करने होते हैं, दैट मीन्स देयर इज एन चॉइस इन द क्वेश्चन। तो आपको कोई 3 क्वेश्चन करना है, तो फर्स्ट यू रीड द क्वेश्चन पेपर प्रॉपरली सो दैट यू कैन मेक इट आउट विच 3 क्वेश्चन आउट ऑफ द रिमेनिंग 4 क्वेश्चंस यू आर गोइंग टू अटेम्प्ट इट। देन आप देखेंगे जो आपका क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 है, इट इज डिवाइडेड इनटू 2 सब पार्ट्स यू कैन से। तो 1 पार्ट विल बी फ्रॉम द कंपनीज एक्ट क्वेश्चन, जो कि आपका 12 नंबर का पूछा जाएगा, विच विल बी ऑफ 12 मार्क्स, ओके। एंड फ्रॉम द अदर लॉ पोर्शन यू विल बी सीइंग द क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड ऑफ 7 मार्क्स। दिस इज अ क्लियर कट बाइफर्केशन ऑफ द मार्क्स। आप कोई सा भी लिखेंगे अकॉर्डिंगली, मतलब ये कि आप इसमें से कुछ स्किप नहीं कर सकते हैं। कोई ये सोचे कि मैं चलो अदर लॉ पे नहीं ध्यान देता हूँ, तो प्लीज डोंट डू दैट, बिकॉज दिस इज अ कंपल्सरी क्वेश्चन, आपको करना है। इसलिए अदर लॉ को भी डोंट टेक इट लाइटली, ठीक है। आपका सिर्फ 40 मार्क्स का है, लेकिन देन ऑल्सो इट मेक्स अ डिफरेंस। एक एक कहते हैं ना, बूंद बूंद से सागर बढ़ता है। तो बस आपको ये ध्यान रखना है, हर एक लॉ को, हर एक चीज को अच्छे से पढ़ना है। डोंट स्किप एनी टॉपिक और एनीथिंग or any portion of your syllabus.
So, and this 12 and 7 may be further divided into 1 or 2 subparts. It can be 1, 2 or 3 subparts. Similarly for question 2 and 3, 4 and 5, out of this you have to attempt any 3.
इसमें भी आपको बता रखा है दोनों पार्ट्स में से आपके क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं ऑफ 10 and 7 marks each. It may be in sub parts.
अगर आप देखें तो आपका पेपर फिर 70 प्लस मिनिमम 17 डिस्क्रिप्टिव हो जाएगा, दैट इज
बिकॉज ऑफ चॉइस।
और अगर किसी क्वेश्चन में इंटरनल चॉइस है तो वो भी आपके लिए 3, 4, 5 मार्क्स जो भी होगी वो हो जाएगी। तो आपका टोटल पेपर विल बी ऑफ मिनिमम 117 मार्क्स।
अब आता है कि टाइम मैनेज कैसे करें, ये सबसे बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है। अब ये समझ लीजिए यही आपका मेन हथियार है, क्योंकि उस 3 घंटे में जो आपने किया है वो आपकी जिंदगी बदलने वाला होगा। यानी कि आपको बस अब यहीं पे आपको कहते हैं ये आपका मेन रामबाण, मतलब जो भी आप करेंगे यहीं पे आपका मेन आपका कहते हैं कि एफर्ट सारे यहीं पे नजर आएंगे और उसका रिजल्ट आपको जल्द से जल्द पता चल जाएगा। नाउ व्हाट इज बीइंग रिक्वायर्ड, जो आपको 15 मिनट दिए जाते हैं क्वेश्चन पेपर को, उस 15 मिनट को ज्यादा मतलब केयरफुली और पूरी ऑप्टिमम जैसे कहते हैं सही तरीके से यूज करिएगा, क्योंकि ये 15 मिनट आपका पेपर आप कैसा कर पाएंगे इस चीज को तय करते हैं। देन मूविंग टू नेक्स्ट इज रीड द क्वेश्चंस क्विकली। उस 15 मिनट में पहले आप सारे क्वेश्चंस पढ़ लो, सो दैट इन ऑर्डर टू मेक आउट विच क्वेश्चन यू आर गोइंग टू अटेम्प्ट फर्स्ट। क्योंकि आप सबसे पहले वो क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करिए जिसमें आप श्योर है और आपको पूरा पेपर करना है, तो इसलिए आपको उसी एट दैट मोमेंट यू हैव टू मेक अ स्ट्रेटेजी एंड प्लानिंग एंड टू डिसाइड हाउ टू गो विद इट। जब हम रणभूमि में जाते हैं, जैसे सारी स्ट्रेटेजी दे पहले कौन कहाँ जाएगा, कौन किस एरिया पे खड़ा होगा, कौन किसके सामने खड़ा होगा, इसी तरह से आपको 15 मिनट्स में ये डिसाइड करना है कि विच क्वेश्चन आई एम गोइंग टू अटेम्प्ट फर्स्ट। उसके बाद आपको ये भी देखना है कि कितना टाइम एलोकेट करना है, और जो टाइम एलोकेशन होता है फॉर ईच क्वेश्चन इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द नेचर ऑफ द क्वेश्चन इन एक्चुअल। कुछ सिंपल होंगे तो वहां पे आपको कम टाइम लगेगा, कुछ क्वेश्चन ट्रिकी हो सकते हैं या एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड या थोड़ी सी उसकी उसमें 2-3 मतलब सब पार्ट्स हैं, तो अकॉर्डिंगली कंसिडरिंग या वेटेज असाइंड आपको उसमें थोड़ा ज्यादा टाइम भी लग सकता है, या डिफिकल्टी लेवल को मीटअप करने के लिए उस क्वेश्चन डिफिकल्टी लेवल हाई उसको मीटअप करने के लिए रिक्वायरमेंट को थोड़ा टाइम ज्यादा लग सकता है। तो अकॉर्डिंगली यू हैव टू एलोकेट द time to each and every question in order to complete the entire paper within the 3 hours। और आपको ये भी देखना है कि आंसर्स की जो लेंथ होती है अननेसेसरी मत लिखिएगा। अगर किसी को ये लिखता है कि नंबर ऑफ पेजेस फिल करने से बहुत अच्छे नंबर आते हैं, तो प्लीज 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 ऐसा मत करिएगा। आपका आंसर टू द पॉइंट होना चाहिए, कंसाइज होना चाहिए, और इट शुड बी इन कमेंसुरेशन विद द मार्क्स। 2 मार्क्स का है तो अकॉर्डिंगली आपको उतना ही लिखना है, 5 मार्क्स का है तो अपने आंसर को उसी हिसाब से आपको जस्टिफाई करना है।
Whenever this time is given to you while reading the question paper in the first go for 15 minutes, sometimes you will see there are certain questions which are of like 3 marks or 4 marks, but the content to, because if you are knowing the answer, you will be knowing that the content to write in this question is very less. And supposedly there will be few questions in the examination which will be of like 3 marks, 2 marks, and the content to write in that will be too much. So in that case, you need to balance out. Though we are saying that you have to write the answer in commensuration with the marks, this is very much important. But if that 2 marks of answer requires a bit more effort and the other questions are not requiring that much of effort, then you need to keep a balance between the two. Do not allocate unnecessary time, but do not cut unnecessary time while writing the answer.
और कोशिश करें कि आप सारे क्वेश्चन कर पाए। सपोज द टाइम इज नॉट लेफ्ट
वेरी
मच,
इंपॉर्टेंट,
तो आप ये कर सकते हैं कि आप दूसरा आंसर स्टार्ट कर दिए थोड़ा स्पेस छोड़ के। इफ यू गेट द टाइम ट्राई टू कंप्लीट इट, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं हो कि आप उसी आंसर पे करते हैं और यू लेफ्ट अ कंप्लीट क्वेश्चन, तो देयर यू विल बी इन अ लॉस इन सच अ वे। तो आप कोशिश करिएगा कि आप पूरा करें। टाइम बैलेंसिंग इज अ मस्ट टू अटेम्प्ट द पेपर।
Ma'am, this is a very good point that you have raised. Many students come to us who said कि मैम मेरा पेपर बहुत अच्छा हुआ था, I did very well, whatever I wrote it very good. बेटा, how much did you attempt? Ma'am, 70 marks. Out of that, ma'am, I have got 50, 45, but I did not get an exemption. Beta, you have attempted 70 marks. So attempting the full paper is imperative. Try to attempt, and that you can do only when you are thorough with your studies. So things, see now, you have if not attempted 30 marks paper, that means you cannot gain anything out of those 30 marks. If supposedly you must be knowing something, that out of that 30 you would have got 10 marks, then that would have also added to your rest of the marks. So please be very, very, very careful about attempting the full paper.
बिल्कुल। नाउ मूविंग, ये तो हम आपको ऑलरेडी बता चुके हैं, सो वी आर नॉट जस्ट फोकसिंग ऑन दोस पॉइंट, बट यस अगर कोई डायरेक्ट आपका प्रैक्टिकल बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है, सिनेरियो बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है, हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू राइट इट, बिकॉज सम मेनी ऑफ द स्टूडेंट हैज आस्क्ड हाउ टू राइट द आंसर्स। तो इसमें आपको कुछ नहीं करना। अगर मान लीजिए आपका एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है, सिनेरियो बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है, तो व्हाट यू नीड टू डू, आपको पहले तो ये रिकॉल करना है कि भाई ये किस लीगल प्रोविजंस को प्रिवेल करता है। जो भी आपका क्वेश्चन में पूछा है वो किससे रिलेटेड पूछा गया है। तो फर्स्ट यू हैव टू रिकॉल द रेलिवेंट लीगल प्रोविजन। उसको रिकॉल करने के बाद आप उसको ले डाउन करिए, क्योंकि आपको कहीं ना कहीं जस्टिफाई भी करना पड़ेगा कि आपने ये क्यों लिखा है। उसके बाद आप को रिलेट करोगे वॉट एवर द लीगल इश्यूज हैज बीन गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन, कि भाई लीगल प्रोविजन क्यों लिखा है, क्योंकि दीज आर द लीगल इश्यूज विच आर गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन एंड नाउ इन लाइन विद द लीगल प्रोविजंस फॉलोइंग इज द कंक्लूजन टू द आंसर। मतलब ये कि आपको जो भी क्वेश्चन में पूछा गया है प्लीज टेक अ नोट, आपको कंक्लूजन लिखना है, तीनों स्टेप्स लिखना है, क्योंकि जनरली जो इस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस होते हैं दे आर अ 4 to 5 marks, 3, 4 or 5 marks whatsoever it may be। आपको क्वेश्चन के रिक्वायरमेंट के हिसाब से लीगल एक्सप्रेशन देने के लिए सबसे पहले जस्टिफिकेशन के लिए प्रॉपर लीगल प्रोविजन लिखना है, ठीक है, एंड देन यू विल बी कमिंग आउट विद द प्रॉपर कंक्लूजन in order to give a complete answer by correlating the legal issues whatever is given in the question with the legal provisions.
So this was with respect to descriptive questions. Sometimes descriptive questions can be in the nature of theoretical questions also. They are like simple provision based questions.
डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन आप तो डायरेक्ट कोई प्रोविजन पूछ लेते हैं, बच्चा ये अच्छा इस प्रोविजन में क्या दिया गया है या ये इसका अपॉइंटमेंट कैसे होगा, सिंपल एक प्रोविजन पूछ लिया। तो उस केस में बस आपको क्या करना है, आपको हाईलाइट, आपने जब लिखा एक तो आप उसको स्मॉल पैरास में लिखिए, उसका ब्रीफ डिस्क्रिप्शन दीजिएगा छोटे छोटे उसमें पैरास में बना के, प्लस अगर आपको कोई हेडिंग देनी है तो प्लीज गिव हेडिंग टू इट। हेडिंग देने के बाद आप उस मेन हेडिंग को हाईलाइट कर सकते हैं सो दैट इट बिकम्स इजी एंड कैची फॉर द पेपर सेटर की यस ये हेडिंग है तो डेफिनेटली द स्टूडेंट हैज मस्ट रिटन द आंसर इन रिस्पेक्ट विद दिस पॉइंट ओनली। तो ये ध्यान रखिए। प्लस अगर कोई एग्जाम्पल आपको पता है या आप लिख सकते हैं एट दैट मोमेंट ऑफ टाइम विच कैन सपोर्ट योर आंसर मोर स्ट्रांगली, तो यू कैन गिव द एग्जाम्पल ऑल्सो, बट ओनली राइट व्हेन यू आर श्योर। और जहां तक हो सके छोटे छोटे पैरास में लिखे, डोंट राइट अ बिग पैरा, ऐसा मत करेगा, अवॉइड दिस थिंग, गिव इन स्मॉल पैरास।
So ma'am, since we are telling the students again and again that this is how to write the question and this, so let's take some questions for the students.
Yes, because students are also asking about ki matlab how we can presentation, they are just asking about the presentation of the answers, ki how we can give the answers.
So moving on to that, we are discussing with you a case scenario. This case scenario has been given to you in the, I think, MTP. So what happened is, this is a company, request you to please go through it in your, you must have already attempted this in your MTP. So request you to open it and then we can discuss it. So this is a company, Shiv IT Solutions Private Limited, and this company is engaged in the business of providing customized software to its client, and then they have given what kind of a work this software does. So now the next is, the company is having its own, I will add one more thing here. When you are given those 15 minutes, by that time you must have read the MCQs that have been provided to you. At least you will have some of the idea that what those MCQs are asking. So when you will be reading that case scenario again, it will help you to understand that what all is important from your point of view. So the company is having its own building and other infrastructure in Bangalore, that is in India, and also at Brussels, Belgium, that is outside India. The company have patents over few of its softwares and also have trademarks. So intangible assets and building tangible assets. So now what happens is, this company has got its a loan from Best Bank, and it has created charge on the assets of the company, which includes company's own buildings and intangible assets. As we know that the charge should be registered, so the charge should have been created by the company within the registered within the time prescribed by under the Companies Act. However, the company could not get registration of charges within the prescribed time. So default already हो चुका है. What happened during the course of secretarial audit for the year ended March 2022? It came to the knowledge of company secretary that the charge was not registered. He mentioned it in his report also, but it was not brought to the notice of the board, and no follow-up was made in this non-registration of charge by the company thereafter. Now what happened? The bank's concurrent auditor and statutory auditor pointed out that this charge was created, but it was not registered. And due to this, what the bank did, it said since they have not got the charge registered, they started charging at the rate of 22% as against the normal rate of 11%. Okay. Now, they also asked a professional whether it can get the charge registered. Then the bank asked, क्या हम ये खुद कर सकते हैं? हम क्या charge register करा सकते हैं? As its own to satisfy the audit objection जो उनके auditors ने बोला. तो उन्होंने उस अपने प्रोफेशनल फ्रंट पे भी इसको पूछा. Now what happened? The bank applied for the registration of charge, which was considered by the registrar, and the charge was created. The bank, in order to address the audit objection, 22% wala, applied the rate of interest at the rate of 22% on the outstanding amount of loan. The company was very miffed, and what did they said that इस loan को ही खत्म करते हैं. So the company agreed with the decision of the bank, managed to liquidate the term loans account by raising funds from other sources and filed for satisfaction of charge. Here, you should know what is the meaning of satisfaction of charge. If you have read, then only you will understand that what they are trying to say by the term satisfaction of charge. So coming to our question, this was the case scenario that is given to you. And now we have said that you have to answer the case scenarios, MCQs on the basis of the above case scenario. These are of 2 marks each, and since there are 2 MCQs given to you, so total 4 marks. The first is the company can create charge in favor of the lender, that is the bank, on the assets which are tangible assets. Yes, it can. And situated in India, yes. But the word here used is situated in India only. No. We know if you have read section 77, subsection 1, it clearly talks about that the company can create charge on its assets which are outside India and within India also. It also says about that on its properties or any of its undertakings, whether tangible or otherwise. So it means whether they are tangible or non-tangible, and they can be in India or outside India. So a company can create charge within India, outside India, on its properties and assets held within India or outside India, and whether those assets are tangible or otherwise. So now when we will read it further, first option is like partially correct, because tangible assets पे कर सकते हैं, situated in India कर सकते हैं, लेकिन only in India नहीं. Intangible assets पे भी कर सकते हैं, situated in India कर सकते हैं, लेकिन only situated in India नहीं कर सकते. Third is assets that are tangible or otherwise and situated in India or Brussels. We have now given you the name, that is situated in India or outside India. Okay. Now the third option is assets that are tangible or otherwise. ये भी सही है. And situated in India only. So you have to choose the best option. So in this case, it will be assets that are tangible or otherwise and situated in India or outside India, that is Brussels. Next MCQ is where the company fails to get the registration of charge, whether best bank, what is best bank? It's the lender company in whose favor the charge was to be created, can move the application for creation of charge. We read in the case scenario, the facts of the case scenario said that the bank got the charge registered with the registrar. For this, you should know section 78 of the Companies Act, which says when the company, that is the company who has taken the loan, when the company who has taken the loan fails to register the charge created on its assets within 30 days, then without prejudice or harming its liability of the company towards this charge, the person in whose favor, that is here the bank, the person in whose favor the charge is created may apply for registration. Compulsory nahi hai, but it can apply for registration of the charge, and then the registrar shall register such a charge. So in light of this section 78, I don't have to quote this section, but I should know this section. तो हमें इतना तो पता चल गया कि हाँ वो कर सकता है. This company can do the registration of charge when those 30 days, if the company has failed. Now I know the answer, but I have to choose the correct answer. मुझे आंसर पता है, can move the application for creation of charge. So the answer is yes. So first answer, no, it is the responsibility. ये तो अपने आप ही cancel हो जाता है क्योंकि no से start हुआ है. फिर if the company do not get the charge registered in favor of the lender suo moto cannot move application for registration of charge in its favor. Suo moto matlab apne aap. But section 78 says कि after the expiration, not after the expiration, but if the company has not itself get registered the charge within 30 days, then this person can get the charge registered. So that means it can suo moto do it. Supposedly you are not knowing exactly the provision. You can even mark this as right because you would not be knowing that why this is written. But if you know the provision, then you will know that yes, it can suo moto. The borrower can be held liable to pay penalty also. It is given to confuse you. Now third option is left. Yes, the lender company can move the application for registration of charge in its favor if the borrower, that is best bank, do not get the charge. If the borrower, Shiv, I'm really sorry. The lender company, that is best bank, can move the application for registration of charge in its favor if Shiv IT Limited do not get the charge registered within the prescribed time. So the correct answer is D. So this is how you will solve a case scenario based question, and we have simultaneously told you how you will be applying your knowledge while solving the MCQs.
Yes. Now, with respect to the descriptive question, this is very much important. This is as important as the MCQ. Of course, all the types of the questions are important. So here, generally, students have problem in writing the descriptive answer, basically, Shraddha, because they are in a dilemma what to write, how much to write, and in what sense it will be coming out in a proper manner. So first, you have to read the question properly to understand what's the requirement of the question. So you read the question, what question says. It talks about that Hastprat Limited is an unlisted public company. So this is one thing. It is talking about the nature of the company. Always, if it's prescribed what sort of the company it is, to take it into your notice that yes, this may be the important aspect while giving the answer. So it is being said that it is a unlisted public company, that is public company. Then further laying down that had 5 directors in the board and includes 2 independent directors. Now it is saying that it has a subsidiary company, that is the Sankar Private Limited. This is holding company and this is subsidiary company. Okay. And it is said that Sankar Private Limited is actually running on its business with the prescribed paid up capital with the members and the turnover given over here. And another one more information is given over here that said company is not a startup company. Okay, these are the important facts. So you must read it properly. Each and every fact may be possible have effect on your answering. Now, what the question is asking about? Question is asking that whether Sankar Private Limited is mandatorily required to prepare cash flow statement for the financial year as per the financial statement. This is the question that is being asked over here. But again, for the more information is there, in what context this is to be given, it is asking that you have to give your answer by analyzing Sankar Private Limited in following categories of companies. Means you have to keep in mind, if suppose this company is going to be OPC, then what will be the situation? If it will be a small company, dormant company, or this. Keeping in mind these categories, nature of the categories of company, then you need to give the answer whether it is required to prepare the cash flow statement or not as per the requirement of financial statement.
So the requirement, you have to definitely tell whether it has to prepare the cash flow or not. But then they have given another condition.
So you have to read the question in entirety. This
Yes.
is the most important aspect. It is not reading just one part of the question and then giving the reply. You need to read the complete question and then start up with your answer. Now, if you see the answer to this question, actually, if you should know what the financial statement requirement is. So you have seen as per the definition given of the financial statement under section 240 of the Companies Act, it prescribed what all the financial statement includes. It clearly says it includes balance sheet as at the end of the financial year, okay? Then profit and loss account, okay? If it is a company which is meant for profit, and if it is other than that company, then income and expenditure account at particular financial year. Then a cash flow statement for the financial year, any statement of changes in equity if applicable. Please see the word if applicable. Then fifth element is any explanatory note annexed to any of the above 4 points. That may be forming the part of the financial statement. Now, the thing is that besides this main elements, what all be included, there is a proviso. This is provided. Provided means a proviso, which excludes from whatever is given in the above main section. So it says that the financial statement with respect to OPC, small company, dormant company, and private company. That too, which type of private company? Such private company which is a startup. Not every private company. Only the startup private companies may not include the cash flow statement. Means these are the companies which do not require to give the cash flow statement
as a part of it.
As a part of financial statement. Right? Now, looking to it, what the fact has been given in the question, in line with that, you'll be seeing that the Sankar Private Limited is to be analyzed under different nature of the companies now. First, with respect to OPC. So what it says that it is given that in the question the 40 members, and also the name is given simply Private Limited. Nowhere the word is used OPC with the name of the company. And what is the OPC company? You all must have read under section 3. Okay, so there with the relevant rule. So you must be finding that it says that the company which has one person as a member is an OPC. So here clearly shows that there are 40 members. And again, the name is simply Private Limited. So this is out of the nature of the OPC company, means that Sankar Limited is not an OPC company. Right? Now moving the second nature of the company is the small company. Already we have dealt in the amendment also what is the requirement of this. You need to see that requirement of paid up capital and turnover. Besides with that, you have to see whether it is falling under that exception or exemptions or not. So here you are seeing that since Sankar Limited is a subsidiary of the Hasprasth Limited, though it is complying with the particular requirement of the paid up or turnover, but falling under the exemption category, exclude this company from the category of small company, because here it is a subsidiary company of the holding Hasprasth Limited. So it is excluded. So it is not a small company. Now moving to third form of the company is the dormant company. Okay. Dormant company. So if you see dormant company, dormant generally means inactive company. So already it is given the case study, it is an active company. It's properly given in the fact. Every fact given in the question has a relevance over here with respect to each and every company. So you are seeing since it's an active company, so it is out of the purview of the dormant company also. So it is not a dormant company. Now coming to the private company. Again, it is restricted only to the startup companies. Since Sankalp Limited is not a startup company, this is clearly mentioned in the question. Okay, and also as per section 2 clause 71, where this company has been defined it when any private company shall be deemed as a public company. Since here the Hasprad, the holding company is a public company. Already we have mentioned in the question in the first line. So considering that the holding company, whether it may be a private company, but under the section, if it is a subsidiary to the public company, it shall be deemed as a public company. So again, we can take it is not a private company. So looking at all these reasoning supported the proper in your answers, you can easily make out and conclude your answer that Sankalp Limited is mandatory required to prepare cash flow statement for the financial year, as it is not falling under the categories of the companies which has been provided under exception, which does not require to prepare the cash flow statement. Being out of the purview, and so it needs to comply with the requirement as per the financial statement. So I suppose the time is also over, Shraddha.
But then also let's take one more question if you wish to.
Let's take it.
And this will help since many students are asking that how they should present stepwise. If you see in this question, we have given the exact legal provision, then linking the facts with the provisions, and then we have given the conclusion. So this is a stepwise. However, exact language cannot be written. So you can tinker with the language in a manner that it still remains legal and legible. So one more question, since it's based on the amendment, ma'am, just let the students.
Yes, I'm just reading in brief the question. Here, Aman has started a new company with the name Nuts and Bolts Private Limited. Okay, so he got registered a company with the same name. However, the Nuts and Bolt, which is a registered trademark, after 5 years comes to know about it. So what happens? He filed an application with the relevant authority. Now the company question now this is the requirement of the question. You need to check what is being asked and in what respect you need to give your answer. So it asks, can the company be compelled to change its name by the owner of the trademark? Okay. And second question, there are two questions. So read the question in entirety. Again, we are emphasizing on this part. Now the second part of the question is asking whether the owner of the registered trademark can request the company and then company may change its name accordingly at its discretion. So there are two parts of this question. So since section 16 already we have dealt in the amendment, this is the question which has been formed on the amendment part. So we have always said to our students, please read the amendment because it happens in order to check your knowledge with the current updation in the subject is being always tested, being in the professional course. So in this question, if you see, this question is based on the section 16, which deals with the rectification of the name of the company. So there it has already been clarified that if the name is very identical or it is very near to the company which is already being registered, in that case, what happens? If in the opinion of the central government is such, then it may direct the company to change its name. And that company shall pass an ordinary resolution within 3 months for the change of the name. So this is the one requirement. Second requirement is that where if any name is resembling with the registered trademark, that the owner of that trademark company shall apply to the concerned authority, that is the central government, within the 3 years of the incorporation of the registration of that company. So there what will happen? The central government may direct the company to change its name. And in that case, what will the company will do? After following the direction, what will do? It will change its name by passing an ordinary resolution within 3 months. The particular amendment that has come here is that this time period has been changed. Earlier it was 6 months, but now it has been reduced to 3 months. Within the 3 months, he has to rectify the name as per the order issued by the direction issued by the central government. This is the amendment. Okay. So you lay down, this is the crux of the section 16. If because already we have dealt with the section 16 detail, so you must be seeing it as having many clauses, but having 3 subsections. But here we have only taken up the relevant portion of that particular provision. So this is how you have to do in the examination. When any questions comes, you have to check what is the requirement of the question, and then in line with the requirement, you have to give the relevant portion of the legal provision. This is what we have done here for your reference, so that you can do accordingly your examination. Then after that, you will be seeing that further the requirement of ROC is there, that you can see that within 15 days it has to report to the ROC this about the change in the name by the company with the along with the order of the central government. And in case of default, already we have dealt in section 3, it has been now replaced. So now there what will be happening here, since it had whether it can do at its own or not on the request of the trademark. So here what is given, within the 5 years of registration of the company. Yes.
So in this question, what has happened? We are again emphasizing that you have to do, the company has to change within 3 months. The amendment is that. However, the question is with not respect to that. The question is also saying that it has come to the knowledge after 5 years.
5 years.
However, the provision says that it has to be brought to the notice of the central government within 3 years. Though it seems that they have copied or whatsoever. However, since they have came to its knowledge after 5 years, so now they cannot go to the central government. So one more thing, you have to write this limit as 3 months. You are not being tested for this 3 months. The question is not asking about this 3 months, but you have to write the revised limit because it is the latest amendment.
Yes.
So the answer will be, since it is filing a objection after 5 years of registration of company with wrong name, and it should have filed within 3 names, therefore the company cannot be compelled to change its name.
Because time limit is there.
Yes.
Within the 3 years, he has to bring it to the notice. But here in the question, it is after 5 years. So that is why it is time barred. So the company cannot be compelled to change his name after this point of after 5 years.
And then one more part of the question is there,
Request.
which is the company, nuts and bolts, is going to the person, the other company, and saying, can you please change your name? For that, now we will go to section 13, which provides that company can anytime change its name by passing a special resolution and taking the approval of central government. So now we have given reference to section 13, and therefore, if this company wants to change its name on the request of the registered owner of trademark, then this company can do so as per the provisions of section 13.
So we suppose that you have understood how to go with the answers, and already we have covered all the important aspects. But yes, there are some more points which you can take into consideration. Yeah, this is writing of section number in the exam. Already said not mandatory, but yes, if you are able to remember, then you can cite it over. Then already this point has been discussed in detail in our earlier during the session itself. Then yes, then about assumptions. Sometimes it happens that the question, there's some information is missing or something due to interpretation. Some assumptions may be taken, so you can come out with a logical expression of the answer while taking certain assumption or presumptions given in the question and then write your answer.
Because your brain will tell you that yes, one more interpretation to it is very much possible. But while giving assumptions, please be specific and sure about one thing. It should not be such that the monkey mind is working. Rather, a logical, healthy mind should be working for it. Do not quote unnecessary assumptions, because sometimes the law is so clear and the question is so clear that it does not leave a room or a scope for an assumption. So don't make unnecessary assumption. Quote them only when it's necessary and you are sure that yes, this is also possible.
And length of answer already discussed in commensuration with the marks. Yes, these are again some of the minor but important. Don't give the generalized answer, avoid it, and try to give to the in relation with the legal provisions. Because what happens, sometimes students won't give as per the legal provision. They give if their answers in a generalized manner.
And that too without capturing the provisions.
So this definitely somewhere affects on your answering and it should be avoided. Further, legible English language, already discussed that language should be said which should be easily understandable and should be correct. Then no short notes or diagrams or tables should be given in your answer.
If you have too much of time in hand with you, what you can do?
Write complete
answer and then support your answer with that diagram. But the other way around is not possible.
This can be adapted only when there is no time and something is left to be done. So something is better than nothing. In that case, then you can
as a last resort. But don't then say that I will get full marks. This is the last resort. Suppose you're left with just 2 minutes and you know the provision in short. Then
yes, then avoid the short forms and this WhatsApp language, SMS language. Please avoid all these things.
You is this and not this. This is this and not this. So please don't write such language.
Then if you are using any short form of any of the terminologies, first time mention near about that you say descriptive that heading. Besides it, there the abbreviation, and then you can use that abbreviation
like
wherever
Institute
required.
of Chartered Accountants of India. And then ICI. Now you can use this ICI further. So we have tried. And if we want some queries, ma'am, just take the names, the queries that have been answered. See, many queries have already been answered. How to get full marks. Sachin, you are asking again that how to get write descriptive questions already answered. How to write stepwise, that has been answered. Pranav, your question has been answered. No minus thing. So we have taken almost everything. And
one way or the other, we have covered all sorts of the issues that generally students face. So, Shraddha, we would like to conclude our sessions. I suppose all the queries and all the issues has been taken up during the session. And we wish you all the best during examination. Please prepare yourself, be confident, and hope for the best. And always remember that whatever knowledge you have been, we have given over you here, that should be reflected in your action. Because any empty bag is there, it does not stand upright. So something should be retained over here and it should come out in your writings, during examination. The result should be reflected in a positive manner.
Whatever the efforts that we have put in and whatever the efforts you are putting in or your parents are putting in, they will be fruitful only when during those 3 hours and 15 minutes you perform the best. So for those 3 or 15 minutes and for that 1 second when you will be seeing the result, we all are here, including you, for those 1 minute at the exam result time and 3 or 15 minutes for the examination time. Be very sure, very cool, very calm. When your preparations are nice, you will be very calm and composed. And before starting the paper, just take 5 deep breaths. Be in the moment. Be just you and the paper. Be there. Write the examinations. Even if you don't know anything and if a situation comes up, just be sure, be cool and calm, and you will be able to write at least something. So, with that note,
we would like to end session. Wish you all the best.
All the best. Thank you.
Thank you.